Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto takes after Minato part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Kushina, Minato said, I just wanted you to know that I've always loved you and I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for what I'm about to do. Minato, you don't have to do this. I'll drag him back inside of me and take him to the grave with me. Kushina replied. No, Kushina, that would only be temporary. He would come back and it could be even more disastrous then. Besides, I don't want you to waste the last of your chakra because I'd like to incorporate it into the seal so that our son will someday be able to meet his mother. Minato said with a heavy heart. Kushina agreed with what he said and didn't press the issue further as Minato began racing through hand seals. Meanwhile, outskirts of Konoha, Hiruzen and another group of shinobi were racing to where Minato teleported to at top speed. I hope we're not already too late. Minato, don't do anything reckless. Faster everyone, we don't have much time. Hiruzen shouted as they increased their pace. Just as they leapt into the clearing where they could see the QB, he heard Minato yell out the words he hoped he'd never hear. Back with Minato. Dead demon consuming seal. Minato stood facing the QB as the death god appeared at his back with a spectral projection of himself suspended by chains on the death god. Minato looked at Kushina and said, I'm sorry, Kushina-chan. Minato, no. Minato heard the familiar voice of his advisor, the former Hokage, yell out. Hiruzen-sama, said Minato, please take care of Naruto and make sure he is seen as the hero that he truly is. This is what it takes to save the village, and it's a responsibility that I chose to shoulder as the fourth Hokage of Konoha. As the third Hokage heard this, he started racing through a set of hand seals. As he finished, he yelled out, sealing technique, replacement of a damned soul, while Minato simultaneously stared down the fox as its soul was dragged through his own and said calmly, seal. What happened next was unexpected by everyone. As the death god took the QB in, Minato was surprised to see that rather than his own soul being pulled out, he could see a dark blue stream coming from Hiruzen to the death god. Hiruzen, what is this? It's a technique I developed some time ago, though I honestly hoped I'd never be forced to use it. It allows me to feed my soul to the death god in your place. But Minato stuttered. No buts, Minato-kun, you're still young and have a newborn child to see too. I've lived a long life with no regrets, and it's better for me to carry this burden than you. Minato looked down as tears started to form in his eyes. Don't shed tears for me, Minato-kun. I'm happy to give my life in place of yours. Now Minato, finish the 8 trigram seal. Minato complied as he performed the ritual for the 8 trigram sealing technique on baby Naruto. Thank you, Hiruzen, for giving me a chance to raise my son. I am forever in debt to you. I can seal a portion of your chakra along with Kushina's into the 8 trigram seal if you would like, so that one day my son may meet the savior of the shinobi world. Yes, I would appreciate that. Thank you, Minato. Good luck on your future endeavors. You've always been a good Hokage and I trust that you will keep our village safe and prosperous. And with that, the death god as well as Hiruzen and the QB were gone, leaving Minato with his fading wife and his newborn son. He'll always be grateful for this, Hiruzen. The other shinobi that were with Sandaime appeared and shunshined the group away to the hospital. Minato sat at his wife's side as she slowly faded away, despite the efforts of the best medics available. I'm so sorry I was unable to protect you, Kushina-chan. If anything, at least I was spared so that our little Naruto-kun will have one of his parents. I love you and I'll never forget you. Later that night, Hokage Tower. My fellow villagers, said Minato as he pondered his words carefully. Tonight, as you all know, our village was attacked by the QB no Kitsune. He was under the control of a masked man whose identity is unknown as of this time. I managed to strip his control of the QB, and performed the dead demon consuming seal on it, which was supposed to forfeit my own life in order to seal it away. However, as I completed the ritual and the death god started to remove my soul, our beloved third Hokage switched places with me, making himself the payment for the death god's service. We lost several of our shinobi brethren tonight, the third Hokage and my wife Kushina Namikaze included. The QB, however, has been defeated. You can all go home and rest with ease tonight. We will have a further meeting tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Later on, in the Hokage's office. I can't believe all that has happened tonight. My first son was born. An unknown masked man who appears to be invincible attacked the village with the QB that he released from my wife. I lost the woman whom I loved more than life itself, and Hiruzen sacrificed himself so that I may live to raise my son. Kushina, I'm so sorry that I let you down. I hope that you will find it in your heart to forgive me and that you watch over us always. Hiruzen, I also let you down tonight as your successor as Hokage. I never meant for this to happen to you. It was supposed to be me that gave my life to the death god. Minato sighed to himself as he sat there staring out the window of his office at the village partially in ruins. Suddenly there was a knock at the door. Enter, said Minato. The door opened and Kakashi Hatake stepped in. What is it that you needed, Kakashi-kun? I just wanted to come by and talk, Sensei, Kakashi said as he came over and sat in front of the desk near Minato. Kakashi and Minato sat at the desk and talked about what happened for a few hours while everyone else mourned their losses in their own ways. The next morning, 6 a.m. A knock came at the door of the Hokage's office. Enter, said Minato as he thought about the events that took place last night. The door opened and revealed a man in black ANBU dress with a dog mask over his face, and a tanto strapped across his lower back. "Hello, Kakashi-kun," greeted Minato. Kakashi walked in and bowed to Minato. "Hokage-sama, I have the final report from the attack last night ready for you." "Thank you, Kakashi. Could you gather a team of your best men and send them to me, please? I'd like to have them locate Tsunade for me," Minato said as he turned to look out the window. "Yes, Hokage-sama," Kakashi said before he disappeared from sight in a whirl of leaves. Minato bit his thumb and went through some hand seals before slapping his hand onto the desk as a small toad appeared in a puff of smoke. "Can you go to Jiraiya and have him return to the village as soon as possible, please?" "Yes, sir," said the toad as he vanished in a puff of smoke. Minato sat and reviewed the report given to him by Kakashi. He looked at the number killed and sadly said to himself, "This is awful, but it could have been far worse had Hiruzen and myself not acted so quickly." 2 hours later, on top of the Hokage Tower. As Minato stood atop the tower flanked on either side by ANBU shinobi and the village elders behind him, he addressed the village, "Citizens and shinobi of Konoha, I know that now is a time of great sadness and grieving for those lost in the attack. As of now there is an estimated 1,200 dead and 2,300 more wounded during the Kyuubi's rampage. We all lost someone close to us during this attack, and as hard as it may be, we will have to pull together as a village to rebuild ourselves so as to not disgrace the ones we lost. Tomorrow we will begin our reconstruction of the village. As for today, you are dismissed." A week later, the village reconstruction was well underway with everyone helping out and carrying their load, while the ANBU squad was gone in search of Tsunade, and Minato was reviewing various reports. Throughout the week Minato had many visitors come and go for different reasons, so it was no surprise when a knock came on the door. "Again, you may enter," said Minato. Kakashi walked in and bowed to the Hokage. "Hokage-sama, I just received word that the team of ANBU dispatched has found Tsunade-sama, and are currently en route from the southeastern edge of the Fire Country." "Thank you, Kakashi," Minato said as Kakashi bowed and shined away. "I need to take a break. I think I'll take Naruto on a walk around the village," Minato thought to himself as he went to get Naruto from his crib and take a stroll around the village to check up on everything. 3 days later, with Minato, Naruto, Jiraiya, Tsunade and Shizen, Minato sat at his seat behind the desk as Tsunade and Jiraiya sat across from him, and Shizen stood beside Tsunade. "I'm sorry to hear of what happened, Minato. I caught word of the attack and started this way as soon as I heard, though I'm sure there is plenty more to be heard," said Jiraiya as he sipped on his sake. Sitting her cup down, Tsunade started. "Likewise for me, Minato. I heard a rumor of an attack on Konoha and started traveling this way. The rumors were proven true when the ANBU squad caught up with me and said you requested our presence here." "Yeah," said Minato as he took a drink of his own sake. "I'm sorry about the loss of your sensei. It was never meant to happen that way. I was supposed to be the one took by the death god, but Hiruzen willingly sacrificed himself so that I could carry on and raise my son." "Don't worry, Minato, you know this is the way sensei would have wanted it," said Jiraiya. "Perhaps you are right, but I can't help but feel bad about it." "It's okay, Minato, this is the way the old man would have wanted things to go." "Yeah, so," said Jiraiya, "when do we get to see baby Naruto?" "I'll go get him now." Minato walked next door and bowed to the young woman who was taking care of Naruto, and thanked her as he picked up Naruto and walked back into his office with his company. Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Shizen all smiled as Minato sat the baby on the desk for them to see. Jiraiya looked up and said, "Well, I'll be. The kid looks just like his father. He's even got your blonde hair," said Tsunade as she was tickling his belly. "Haha, yeah. I hope he acts more like me too, instead of taking his mother's fearsome temper," Minato said while sheepishly rubbing the back of his head as Jiraiya and Tsunade grinned. The four continued to talk for a while before Minato changed to a more serious demeanor and decided to ask Tsunade for a favor. "Jiraiya, Shizen, would you mind giving myself and Tsunade a moment alone? I need to speak to her personally for a moment," said Minato. "Sure thing, I'm gonna go check out the village and see how everything is coming along. I'll see you later, Minato," said Jiraiya as he got up to leave the room. "Yes, Hokage-sama," said Shizen, and she also got up to leave. "So Tsunade, I have a favor I'd like to ask of you," said Minato with a somewhat nervous look on his face. "What is it that you need, Minato?" "Well, I don't really know how to go about this. Just spit it out already." "Well, Tsunade, since I lost Kushina-chan, I think Naruto needs a woman figure in his life as he grows." "Go on," said Tsunade curiously. "I guess what I'm trying to say is, will you stick around the village to help me raise him, kind of like a nanny?" "I don't know, that's a big responsibility, Minato. I'll have to have some time to think about that if you don't mind." "Of course, take your time. Please just give it some consideration," said Minato. And with that Tsunade left and headed to the bar to think about all that Minato just said. With Jiraiya and Shizen, a few minutes earlier. "So what do you think Minato-sama wants with Tsunade?" asked Shizen. "Beats me, maybe some political talk. I never was good with that kind of stuff," said Jiraiya. "Yeah, you're probably right. I'll see you around," said Shizen as she walked off. "See ya," said Jiraiya as he also left. With Tsunade, 20 minutes after she left Minato's office, Tsunade was sitting at a table in the bar, sipping on a cup of sake while she pondered what Minato said to her earlier. "I can't believe that he chose me of all people to be Naruto's nanny. Does he really think I'm the right choice? I'm just an alcoholic with a gambling problem. I can't raise a child. Shizen would be a better choice than I would. Maybe I should talk to her later." Oh well, for now I'm just gonna relax for a bit and clear my mind first. As Tsunade was sitting there drinking sake and clearing her mind, Shizen happened along and came up to Tsunade and sat down. Well Shizen, I was just about to come find you. Need something? Tsunade asked. No, I was just wondering what Minato-sama said to you earlier and I knew I could find you here, Shizen said. Well actually, that's what I was going to find you for. Minato asked me if I would be Naruto's nanny and I just don't know. Admitted Tsunade. You'd make a great mother, my lady, said Shizen. Plus, I'd love to have a little brother. Tsunade thought about it for a minute and said, I don't know Shizen, I just don't think I'm the right choice. Sure you are. If you weren't, do you think Minato-sama would have asked you? Well, you have a point. Do you really think so, Shizen? Yes, of course I do, my lady. I'll consider it at least. I still need to think about it some more. Of course, just think about it. I'll see you later, said Shizen as she got up to leave. The next day, Hokage's office. Minato sat at his desk doing some more paperwork as he heard a knock on the door. Enter, said Minato as Tsunade walked through the door. So have you thought about what I said, Tsunade? Yes, that's what I came here for, I'll do it. Minato stood up and bowed to her as he said, thank you so much, you don't know what this means to me. What are they talking about in there, I wonder? Said a mysterious voice outside the window. I guess I'll know when the time is right. Said the voice as he turned to walk down the wall only to come face to face with the Hokage himself. Spying on the Hokage, are we, Jiraiya? Said Minato with a grin. Well, I was, yes. Said Jiraiya as Minato's sweat dropped. Great excuse, sensei. Come on and I have some good news. With that, Minato burst into a cloud of smoke as Jiraiya turned back around and crawled through the window. Jiraiya, you moron, don't you know how to use a door? Shouted Tsunade as she went to punch him. Nope. Anyway, what is this news you had for me, Minato? Well, yesterday I asked Tsunade if she would act as a nanny for Naruto, since he needs a woman's influence. And what did you say, Tsunade? Asked Jiraiya. I said that I would do it. Well, it looks like the legendary sucker is finally settling down with a man. Too bad it's not me, I thought we had something special. Said Jiraiya with a lecherous grin. Pervert. Yelled Tsunade and Minato at the same time, as Tsunade punched Jiraiya out the window. Elsewhere in the village, Shizen was walking down the street with a bag of groceries in her hands as a person came crashing down in front of her. Without even looking at the person, she said, when will you ever learn, Jiraiya? Never. The super pervert's work is never done. Shouted Jiraiya as he jumped up and grinned with a thumbs up. Shizen just sweat dropped as Jiraiya started walking back to the Hokage tower. So Naruto, are you ready to start your real ninja training? Asked Minato as he grinned down at the now 6-year-old Naruto. Naruto dressed just like your average 6-year-old, he had on an orange t-shirt and blue shorts, as well as blue ninja sandals. Of course, Dad. I have to start early if I want to get better than you and take your spot as Hokage. Whoa Naruto, don't get ahead of yourself. That's still a way away. Now what I want you to do is climb this tree. Said Minato as he pointed over his shoulder at a tree. But how is that ninja training, Dad? You have to climb it without using your hands, Naruto. How am I supposed to do that? Minato walked over to the tree and started walking up the side of it as Naruto looked on in awe. Cool, how do you do that, Dad? Said the wide-eyed smiling Naruto. You just have to focus your chakra to your feet and use it to stick. Give it a try. Naruto walked over to the tree and started walking up the tree. He made it about halfway up before he lost his footing and fell back down into Minato's waiting arms. That was very good, Naruto. Most people don't get that far on their first try. Try again and see how you do. Naruto started back up the tree and this time to his surprise he stuck good and made it all the way to the top. Well, it looks like the books and small exercises we had him do have paid off well. He has the largest reserves of anyone I've ever seen his age and excellent control as well. He'll make a fine shinobi one day. Look, Dad, I did it. Said Naruto as he started walking around and around on the trunk of the tree. Very good, Naruto, I'm very proud of you. Said Minato with a smile. Now come on down, I have a new exercise for you. Naruto jumped down from the tree and walked over to his dad and said, What is it now, Dad? Do I get to learn a super cool new jutsu? Not yet, Naruto, but soon, I promise. Since you figured out the tree walking so fast, I want you now to try to walk on top of this pond. How do I do that? Well, it's the same basic theory as tree climbing, except the water is constantly changing, so you have to adjust your flow of chakra as such. I think I get it. So can I try it out now, Dad? Go ahead, son. Naruto started walking out onto the water and made it a few steps out before he fell through. He jumped back up and out of the water as his dad said, Naruto, you did good again. But I only made it 3 steps out into the water. Pouted Naruto. It's okay, son. Most high-level genin have problems with water walking. You did better than I did on my first try. Really? Well, I guess I just have to keep at it, and I'll be the Hokage in no time. You're still a way away from taking your old man's spot, son, but you're doing great. Why don't you give it another shot? Naruto spent the next hour or so walking out into the water and falling in over and over, but he got a little better each time until he could finally walk, run, and jump on the surface of the water. Good job, Naruto. How about we break for some lunch? Said Minato. Sure, Dad, let's go. Said Naruto as he grabbed Minato by the waist, and they disappeared in a flash of yellow light. You've got to teach me how to do that, Dad. Said Naruto as they reappeared in front of their favorite ramen stand. I will one day, son, don't get ahead of yourself. said Minato with a smile as they walked in and sat down at the counter. What can I get for you today? Said a young girl about 10 years old. We'll have the normal I am, said Minato. Alright, it'll be right out, said I am as she walked into the back. A few minutes later, an older man in his late 30s came out of the back with 4 bowls of ramen. How are my favorite customers doing today? Said the man as he sat down the ramen. We're doing great, Mr. Ichiraku. Me and my dad are finally starting my training to be a ninja, said Naruto. That's good to hear. You aren't being too rough on the boy, are you, Hokage-sama? You know you don't have to call me Hokage. I've been coming here since I was a kid, Tuchi. Yeah, but you weren't the Hokage back then, remember? Said the man, now identified as Tuchi Ichiraku. No, I wasn't, but you can still just call me Minato, if you insist. Thanks, Tuchi. We better get going and start back on the training, said Minato as he laid some money on the counter. See you later, Mr. Ichiraku, said Naruto as they flashed away. So what are we going to do now, Dad? Said Naruto as they appeared back at the training ground. Well, how would you like to know what your elemental affinity is? Elemental affinity? Yes, chakra can be converted into one of 5 different kinds of chakra to perform different jutsu. You can perform a jutsu without having the affinity for that element, but it won't be as strong and will take more chakra than someone who does have the affinity. The 5 affinities are fire, wind, water, lightning, and earth. Each country specializes in one of the elements mostly but can have all types. For instance, we are the fire country, so we have a lot of fire style users. But we also have the other kinds too. Like me, I'm a wind user. Most people have 1 or 2 elements to begin, but can work to get more as they get older. Rarely, people have 3 or more affinities early on. So how do I know what kind I am? Minato took a card out of his pocket and handed it to Naruto. All you have to do is channel your chakra into this card and it will tell you. Naruto channeled his chakra to the card, and to Minato's surprise, the card split in half down the middle, and one side crinkled up while the other side became soggy wet. Wow, Naruto, said a dumbfounded Minato. What is it, Dad? Remember how I said it was rare to have 3 affinities? Yeah, so what did my card say? You have wind, water, and lightning affinities. That's amazing, Naruto. I'm the Hokage and I only have 4 affinities. What are yours, Dad? Well, my primary was wind. Shortly after I became a Genin, I developed an affinity for fire. Then as a Chunin I got water. And finally just a few years ago I developed the lightning affinity. Wow, Dad, you're the best. Not really, son. You have 3 elements at the age of 5. And if I'm right, the Kyuubi will allow you to use fire as well. So you're almost as good as I am in that area already, thought Minato. So Naruto, how about I teach you a jutsu now? Really? Yes, I think you're ready for it already. It's called Shadow Clone Jutsu. Shadow Clone? That sounds awesome. It is a very useful jutsu, son, but it is a forbidden technique that most jounin can't use efficiently. But with your chakra reserves, I think it should be fine. If my theory is correct, it may also be a good tool to train with, which is why I'm teaching it to you so early. Wow, Dad, you really think I'm ready? Yes, I do, son. You've did really well this past year on all of the smaller things, so you've earned it. Cool. What do I have to do? Just do the cross hand seal and focus your chakra into making copies of yourself. Now you have to be careful. The reason many jounin can't do this jutsu is because it takes a lot of chakra to make more than a few clones. Go ahead and give it a try. Naruto placed his hands in the seal and concentrated for just a second, and then once again Minato was utterly shocked at what happened. Standing before him was almost 1,000 clones of Naruto. Wow, son, you have surprised me again. Did I do something wrong? Oh no, of course not, this is great. You have the chakra to make 1,000 clones, and you don't even look tired. So that's a good thing? Yes, I don't even think I could make 1,000 clones, son. Wow, really? Your job is getting closer all the time, Dad, said Naruto as he laughed. How about we take the rest of the day off and go see what your friend Shikamaru is up to? Cool. And again they disappeared in a flash of light and reappeared right outside the Nara compound. As they walked up to knock on the door of the main house in the compound, the door opened and Shikaku Nara walked out. Minato, do you need something? No, we just came by to see if Shikamaru could play. Sure, I think he is out back. Go ahead, Naruto. Thanks, said Naruto as he ran off towards the backyard. Hey Naruto, how are you doing today? Said a young man about Naruto's age with black hair tied up in a pineapple shape with black pants and a mesh t-shirt with a tan coat over it. I'm good. Me and my dad just finished some training. How about you? We just finished training too. It was so troublesome. Look at the bright side. If you train hard, you'll be a good shinobi one day. I'd rather just watch the clouds go by. You're so lazy, Shikamaru. How about a game of shugi? Troublesome, said Shikamaru with a grin as he ran inside to get the game board. Inside, with Minato and Shikaka. 1,000 clones? Really? Damn, Minato, you've got yourself a handful. He's going to be just like you when he's older. Yeah, it makes me proud as a dad that my son shows such potential. But you can't act like Shikamaru isn't just like you too. Yeah, you're right about that. He's not the strongest, but he sure is bright. Like father, like son. Yeah, you're spot on there. Later that night, at the Namake's home, Minato was in his study looking over some scrolls while Naruto was in his room also studying some scrolls. Tsunade had just finished cooking supper and was setting the table. Minato, Naruto, Jiraiya, supper is done. No sooner than she said that a yellow flash appeared at the head of the table, though he was only a hair faster than the speeding Naruto who found his place. They are so alike it's scary, thought Tsunade as she giggled to herself. A moment later Jiraiya came walking down the stairs and found his place at the table, and they all started eating. About 1 year later, Naruto awoke to the familiar sound of his alarm clock buzzing as he started to crawl out of bed. He took a shower and started down the stairs to get some breakfast before heading out to train, but as he reached the bottom of the stairs his dad walked up and said, "Happy birthday, Naruto." "Oh yeah, I forgot it was my birthday today," said Naruto as he rubbed the back of his head, just like his dad always does. Jiraiya's sweat dropped in the kitchen as Tsunade laughed. "So how does it feel to be another year older, son?" said Minato with a grin. "I'm another year closer to taking your job, Dad," said a smiling Naruto. "Well, how about some breakfast for now instead, and Hokage in a few years?" "Sounds like a plan to me, Dad." They gathered around the table and started eating while Minato and Jiraiya looked at each other and nodded. "So Naruto, how about I teach you a new jutsu for your birthday?" "Really? What jutsu is it?" said Naruto, smiling ear to ear. "You'll see," said Minato with a grin. "Okay, when do we start?" "After breakfast, I've got some work to do at the office, but Jiraiya will get you started and I'll join you when I'm through, okay?" "Yeah." They all finished their breakfast and Minato flashed away to the Hokage tower while Jiraiya and Naruto walked out back to the training ground. "So what jutsu are you gonna teach me, Uncle Jiraiya?" "It's called the Rasengan, your father's own creation." "Cool. Where do I start?" "Well, you know about nature and shape manipulation already, right? The Rasengan is the ultimate form of shape manipulation. While it is technically incomplete for now, it is still a very powerful jutsu." "How is it incomplete?" "Well, like I said, your father made the jutsu. It took him 3 years to get the Rasengan down, however his intentions are to add nature manipulation to it, which he is still trying to perfect." "I see. Maybe if I learn it I can beat him to it," said Naruto as he jumped up and down. "Setting a big goal for yourself, aren't you, kid?" "Of course, the Hokage has to be the best in the village, so I'm starting now." "Okay then, sounds good to me," said Jiraiya as he pulled out a water balloon and tossed it to Naruto. "First thing I need you to do is gather your chakra inside this water balloon and spin it to make the balloon pop. Don't be disappointed if it takes a while. Remember, it took your dad 3 years to make, and it took me a whole year to learn it from him." "Okay," said Naruto as he started rotating chakra in his palm. Naruto kept at it for about 2 hours until finally the balloon started twisting and swelling up and finally it exploded. "Wow, good job, Naruto, you got the first step in only 2 hours. It took me weeks to pop the balloon." "Cool, what's next?" At that time Minato came walking out of the house. "How's it going?" "I already got the first step done, Dad." "Really? Good job, Naruto. Will you show me?" Jiraiya tossed Naruto another balloon and in a few seconds this balloon exploded in Naruto's hand. "Good job, son. Are you ready for the next step?" "Yeah." "Okay, then now you'll need to do the same thing to this rubber ball. In order to pop the rubber ball, you'll need to use more chakra and keep the same rotation." Again Jiraiya tossed Naruto a rubber ball and he started trying to pop it. After a few hours of trying, Minato stopped Naruto and decided to break for lunch. As soon as they finished they ran back outside and started again, and in a couple more hours Naruto exploded the rubber ball. "Good job, son. At this rate you'll have it down by the end of the day. Let's see it again." Minato tossed Naruto another ball and in just a couple of seconds it exploded in Naruto's hand. "Okay, are you ready for the last step now, son?" "Yeah." "Okay, this time, you need to combine steps 1 and 2. You need to pump a lot of chakra into this balloon while spinning it, and keeping the form good enough not to pop the balloon." "Okay," said Naruto as he took a balloon from Jiraiya. Again Naruto spent several hours straight working on the final step. It finally got dark and they decided to call it a day. "Good job today, Naruto. You made it farther today than I expected. Maybe tomorrow you can finish up." "Okay, Dad," said Naruto as he walked into the house to eat supper and study his medical jutsu with Tsunade. Later that night, as Naruto was upstairs asleep, Minato and Jiraiya sat in Minato's study talking. "I can't believe he got that far on his first day," said Minato. "You're telling me it took you 3 years to develop and a year for you to teach me?" said Jiraiya. "Yeah, Naruto is special. He is going to be a great ninja one day." "Yeah, and he has his goals set high already. He wants to be the Hokage, and he said he wants to beat you to adding his nature to the Rasengan." "Well, I really think both of those dreams will come true. If he works hard he could add his element to the Rasengan in just a few days, I'm sure." "Would you keep working with him while I'm at the office?" "Of course, we'll have the Rasengan complete before you get home tomorrow," said Jiraiya as he laughed. "Thanks, sensei," said Minato. The next morning, on the training field. "Alright, Naruto, let's try again," said Jiraiya as he handed Naruto another balloon. Naruto spent the next hour popping one balloon after another before finally, he got the balloon to swell up but not bust. Jiraiya smiled and said, "Naruto," as the balloon popped in Naruto's hand, "Okay, we know you can do it, but you've got to be able to keep it up if you're distracted, so that's what we'll work on now." "Okay." Naruto took the balloon and swelled it up with the chakra inside and was keeping up well, then Jiraiya threw a rock at him, and he messed up and popped the balloon. "See, kid, you've got to concentrate even in the heat of battle to form techniques, so you'll have to do this while being pelted with rocks," said Jiraiya with an evil grin. So for the next 2 hours Naruto made the incomplete Rasengan as Jiraiya threw rocks at him. Shortly after 2 hours Naruto had it going while running and dodging the rocks Jiraiya threw at him. "Good job, Naruto, now all 3 steps are done. you have to do it without the balloon. So again Naruto spent a while forming the Rasengan without the balloon while dodging rocks. After another 2 hours he had formed a perfect Rasengan. Good kid, now take and push the Rasengan into that tree and see what happens. So Naruto formed a Rasengan and ran it into a tree in the backyard. Splinters and leaves went everywhere to Naruto's surprise. Wow, did I do that? Yep, you've mastered the Rasengan, kid. Just then Minato appeared in a flash beside Naruto and looked at the mess in the yard. Looks like you got it figured out. Good job, Naruto. How about we go out for lunch to celebrate? Sure! And with that Minato, Jiraiya, and Naruto disappeared in a flash. It has been about a year since Naruto learned the Rasengan. He has spent the time training himself to add one of his elements to it while also studying medical jutsu with Tsunade and sealing with Jiraiya, along with other taijutsu and ninjutsu with his father. Hey Naruto, what's up? Said Sasuke as they met in front of Ichiraku's to get some lunch. Sasuke was dressed in a blue loose-fitting shirt with the Uchiha crest on the back, along with khaki shorts. He had jet black hair and eyes, typical of an Uchiha. Same as normal, been training with Dad trying to get my Rasengan perfected. How about you? Said Naruto. Same for me. Me and Dad have been working on some fire-style jutsu. He says I'm doing pretty good for 8 years old. Well, if you're that good, then how about we have a spar after lunch? Said Naruto with a grin. Of course, as long as you promise not to cry like a baby. Said an also grinning Sasuke. Now Sasuke, don't talk about yourself like that, I won't hurt you too bad. Sure, whatever you say, Naruto. With that, Naruto and Sasuke paid for their food and headed back to Naruto's house for their spar. As they walked through the house, Minato said, Hey Naruto, what's going on? Me and Sasuke are going to spar. Wanna come watch Dad? Sure, I'll be out in just a minute, said Minato as Naruto and Sasuke walked on out back. Are you sure you don't want to quit before I embarrass you, Naruto? Well, I was about to ask you the same thing. Ready? said Sasuke. Go! Said both boys as they charged at each other. Naruto ran in and swept low at Sasuke's feet only for him to jump over the kick and launch his own kick towards Naruto's head. Naruto ducked under the attack and jumped back to get some distance as Sasuke started a set of hand seals. Fire release, fireball jutsu! Yelled Sasuke as he breathed out a ball of fire at Naruto. Water release, water bullet! Said Naruto as he spit out a ball of water to counter Sasuke's fireball. As the attacks dissipated, Naruto and Sasuke charged back at each other once again. Only this time Sasuke took the offensive. Got you this time! Yelled Sasuke as he did a spin kick to Naruto's face only to see Naruto grin and disappear in a cloud of smoke. Damn, where did he go? Said Sasuke as he heard a noise behind him and turned just in time to see Naruto finish a set of hand seals. Water style, water prison jutsu, gotcha now, Sasuke. Said Naruto with a smile. Yeah, I guess so, good job, Naruto. You too, Sasuke, I just got the upper hand this time. Both of you did excellent. I think you'll make great shinobi someday soon. Said Minato as he walked up to them. Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Namikaze-sama. So boys, how about a new challenge? What is it, Dad? You two against me in a spar? Sure thing. Said both boys as they looked to each other and grinned. Alright, go. Said Minato as he disappeared in a flash of yellow. Minato flashed out from in front of the two and reappeared right behind them while swinging a kick at both of them. Both boys ducked under the kick and went separate ways across the yard while running through hand seals. As soon as they both touched the ground, they finished the seals and yelled out fire style, fireball jutsu, and wind style, great breakthrough. As Naruto's wind and Sasuke's fire combined, the attack doubled in size and became more intense, headed right for Minato. Minato just grinned and flashed away to the other side of the field behind the two boys. Well, I have to say I'm proud of you too, that's good teamwork, but not good enough for me yet, said Minato as he did the cross hand seal and two clones appeared beside him. How about this? Wind release, vacuum bullets. As he started firing off wind bullets at the two, who were dodging them well, however they didn't notice that they were being corralled into Minato's clones who had teleported to the other side of the field. Water release, water prison jutsu, said both clones simultaneously as they trapped Naruto and Sasuke in separate balls of water. Good job again, boys, you did better than I thought. You're not even Genin yet and I'm the Hokage, so you should be proud of yourselves. And with that, Minato was cut off as he was surrounded by a ball of water. He turned his head to see 3 Naruto clones holding the jutsu as the real Naruto walked out in front of him. Come on, Dad, you taught me never to let my guard down until the battle was over, didn't you? Hee, I guess you're right. You got me this time, Naruto. I'm proud of you too, said Minato as he dispelled his clones holding the water prisons, and to his surprise both Naruto and Sasuke dispelled also. So they were both clones? Yep, we had a backup plan, said Sasuke as he jumped down out of a tree. With that, Naruto dispelled his 3 clones and the water prison, freeing Minato as he stood back up with a grin. Those two will really be something one day. I guess it's true that new generation always surpasses the old. They will definitely be stronger than me one day. Again, good job, boys, but I've got some work to do at the office. See you for dinner, son. And with that, he disappeared in a flash. So Naruto, what are you going to do now? Asked Sasuke. Well, I think I'm going to work on my Rasengan some more. I'm close to adding my wind element to it already. Anything I can do to help? Not right now, it's just a lot of theory and practice for now. Thanks anyways. Alright then, I'll see you later, Naruto, said Sasuke as he walked off. See ya. Naruto spent the rest of the day until nightfall working on his Rasengan some more, but didn't feel that he made great progress. As night came, Tsunade stepped out and hollered, "Supper is ready, time to come eat." With that, Naruto ran off inside to eat, and then spent the rest of the night on his studies with Jiraiya and Tsunade before going to bed. The next morning, Naruto woke up and headed out to the training ground with his dad and Jiraiya to work on some of his other jutsu. When they arrived outside, he noticed man standing there in leaf A and B gear without a mask. He had silver hair and wore his headband pulled over one eye with a mask covering his neck up to his eyes. "Ah, good morning, Kakashi," said Minato. "Morning, sensei," said the man now identified as Kakashi. "Naruto, this is Kakashi Hatake. I was his team's Jonin instructor when they were Genin," said Minato. Naruto bowed to Kakashi and said, "Good morning, Kakashi-san." "Hello, Naruto. I am here to teach you a little about lightning-style jutsu today." "Thanks, Kakashi-san, but why did you come out? Couldn't Dad teach me?" "Well, son, I have some things I have to get done at the office, and plus, Kakashi is one of the best lightning user in the village, and a general ninjutsu specialist." "Wow, even better than you, Dad," said Naruto, astonished that someone was better than his father. "Yep, Kakashi is one of the most respected jonin in the world, so I thought I'd get him to help you out." "Cool, thanks Dad, Kakashi-sensei. See you later, Naruto," said Minato as he disappeared in a flash. "So Naruto, are you ready to begin?" "Yes, sir." "Okay, today I want to show you a jutsu I created myself, based off of your father's Rasengan. It's called the Chidori. Now watch my hands to get the seals," said Kakashi as he slowly went over the hand seals so Naruto could copy them, and then he said Chidori as Naruto heard a noise that sounded like 1,000 birds chirping at once and Kakashi's hand covered over in lightning, dancing wildly around. "Naruto, this jutsu is classified as a close-range assassination technique. Despite the noise, this jutsu is meant to happen quickly and get the job done before they can react. Now since you don't have the Sharingan, you won't be able to use it quite like I can, but I believe it will still be helpful. Watch." Kakashi then sprinted over to a tree in a blur and thrust his hand through the tree, exploding the trunk in a shower of splinters. "Wow, Kakashi-sensei, that jutsu is cool," said Naruto. "Like I said, without the Sharingan you won't be able to use it to its fullest, because you have to remain pretty still, lest you get tunnel vision. But it will still be effective." "How does the Sharingan help?" "Well, back up to the other side of the yard and form the Chidori, and come at me wide open." So Naruto ran across the yard from Kakashi before he did the hand seals as lightning started dancing around his hand, and he heard the familiar noise of birds chirping. However, it sounded much louder than when Kakashi used it. "Naruto, what is it, sensei?" "Your Chidori." "It's at the Hokage Tower." Minato sat at his desk reviewing mission reports as there was a knock on the door. "Enter." The door opened, revealing a small pug with a leaf headband on his head. "Hokage-sama." "Yes, Pakin? Kakashi sent me to tell you that there is something you need to see back home. Everyone is okay, he just needs you to see something." "Okay, let's go then," said Minato as he picked up Pakin and disappeared in a flash. Minato suddenly reappeared back at the training ground in a flash of yellow. "Minato-sensei, sorry to bother you, but I discovered something I think you should see." "What is it, Kakashi?" "Naruto, fire up a Chidori." Naruto ran through the hand seals and said Chidori, as the lightning started jumping around his hand and screeching like 1,000 birds. "See what I meant?" said Kakashi with a puzzled look. "Yes, I don't know what to make of it myself." "Is something wrong?" said Naruto, who started to look sad. No son, there's nothing wrong. It's just that your lightning is rather special." "Special how?" asked Naruto, looking a little happier than before. "Well, Naruto, look at my Chidori," said Kakashi as he made the hand seals and a Chidori formed around his hand. "So what do you see different about mine?" "Well, they are different colors, and mine looks bigger and it is louder, right?" "Yes, Naruto, I think we need to have a talk real quick," said Minato as both Naruto and Kakashi's Chidori died off. Minato then started to explain to Naruto how he had to fight the Kyuubi and seal it inside of him to save the village. "So I have the Kyuubi inside of me?" said a confused Naruto. "Yes, son, I had no choice. I hope you understand." "Of course, Dad. If I expect to be the Hokage, that means I have to do whatever it takes to protect the village." "That's very mature of you, Naruto. I'm proud of you." "Well, the point of all of this is that we think the Kyuubi's chakra may be influencing your lightning style. Notice how Kakashi's was a light blue color but yours was dark red? The Kyuubi has that color chakra. So what exactly does that mean, Dad?" "Well, we don't know for sure right now, but I believe it will make your lightning style attacks much stronger than normal without drawing from your own reserves. So that's a good thing then, right?" "Yes, I believe so." "How about you try out your Chidori on that tree right there?" said Minato as he pointed to a large tree a few yards away. "Okay, Chidori," said Naruto as the demonic Chidori wrapped around his hand and lower arm. He dashed off at the tree and slammed his hand into the trunk of the tree, and it exploded in a bright ball of red lightning. Once the light and smoke died down, Minato and Kakashi stared on in awe at what they saw. Starting at the tree Naruto hit with his Chidori, there was a massive crater 20 feet wide and 50 feet long smoking in front of him. "Wow," said both Minato and Kakashi. Jiraiya ran out of the house to see what shook the walls, and when he seen the crater he said, "Damn. What happened out here?" "A demon lightning Chidori," said Kakashi. "Naruto did that," said Jiraiya pointing at the crater. Yes, said Kakashi and Minato. 3 months later, Minato and Kakashi had warned Naruto about the destructive power of his Chidori and had told him not to use it unless it was an emergency, because of the damage to the target, along with the dangerous tunnel vision Chidori causes if used at long distance. Naruto has continued his training and by this point he is already a Chunin level medical ninja, as well as one of the best seal masters in the village. He knows that he still has work to do to get better, and he doesn't treat anyone like they are beneath him. He has a lot of friends as well as quite a fangirl base when he goes out. He knows the fangirls are only going to get worse because he is starting at the Ninja Academy in 2 months. Naruto, are you excited to start at the academy in a couple of months? Said Minato. Yes, I already know most of the stuff they are going to teach, but I'll enjoy the chance to be around my friends still. That's the spirit, Naruto, I'm glad you see it that way. So, how about we start teaching you another jutsu since you're fixing to become a ninja? Sure, Dad, what jutsu now? One of my personal creations, the Flying Thunder God. Wow, really, you think I'm ready for that one? Yes, but if you don't think you're ready then I guess we'll just have to. No, I think I'm ready, thanks Dad. So for the next 2 months Naruto and Minato worked on the Flying Thunder God. About 2 weeks before school was scheduled to start, Naruto could use the Haraishin, but he hadn't mastered it yet. He couldn't teleport quite as far as his dad, but his distance is getting better, and he also wasn't as fast. Something that Minato took note of was that, like his Chidori, instead of a yellow flash, Naruto disappeared and reappeared in a red flash. With the remaining 2 weeks Naruto continued training his various jutsu and seals, though he decided to take a break from medic jutsu for a while. During this 2-month period Naruto had also changed his appearance. His spiky yellow hair had grown out longer, almost a perfect match to his dad's. He wore a gray t-shirt with red sleeves and gray pants with a red stripe down each leg. He had a coat similar to his father's, but he was waiting until he graduated to wear it. It was a long coat just like Minato's, but it had the kanji for Konoha's red flash instead of yellow flash. Naruto went to bed early this night, because tomorrow was the big day. His first day at the Ninja Academy. Naruto woke up early today, excited about his first day of school. He went downstairs to have breakfast with the family while they talked as normal. So son, are you ready for your first day of school? Asked Minato. You betcha I am. Naruto, I'm proud of you. Today is your first day at the academy, and you're already very strong. I'm glad it hasn't gone to your head. Jiraiya added in. Of course, Uncle Jiraiya, I know I'm strong, but I'm nowhere near strong enough to protect the village and my loved ones yet. That boy is just like his father in every way. He is destined for great things, thought Jiraiya. Well, Naruto-kun, I'm proud of you too. I've watched you over the years grow into a fine young man, said Tsunade. Thanks, and Tsunade, said Naruto with a smile. Well, son, are you ready to go now? Yeah, yelled Naruto as he jumped up and ran out the door. Minato and Naruto walked toward the academy, taking their time since they had a little while to spare. As they arrived at the academy, they ran into Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji, along with their parents who were talking to each other. Hey Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, what's up? Said Naruto. Hey Naruto, said all three at once. Greetings, Hokage-sama, how are you today? Said Shikaka with a grin. Oh come on Shika, cut the Hokage crap. As you wish, Hokage-sama. I only wish to show our children how to respect their superiors. Minato pulled Shikaku in close and whispered, keep it up and I'll be having a little talk with Yoshino about where you go every Wednesday. As he let a small grin show. Leave her out of it, Minato, that would be way too troublesome. Thank you, said Minato. Chuza and Noichi, how are you two today? I'm doing fine, Minato, how about yourself? Said Inoichi. Great, I'm glad all of our kids get to start the academy at the same time. As am I. Naruto, Shikamaru, and Ino are Choji's best friends, it will be good for all of them, said Chuza. All the parents stood around talking for a while as the kids wandered off, where they ran into Sasuke and Itachi. Hey Sasuke, Itachi, what's up? Said Naruto. Hello Naruto-kun, said Itachi. Hey Naruto, Shikamaru, Ino, Choji. Sup? Said Sasuke. Sasuke-kun, what the? Said Naruto. Haha, they found you, little bro, good luck, I'll see you later, said Itachi as he disappeared in a swirl of leaves. What is he talking about, Sasuke? Said Naruto. Naruto-kun, why are they hollering at me too? Damn it Naruto, the fangirls. Run, said a wide-eyed Sasuke. Fangirls? Crazy little girls that think they love you, it's a bad deal, man, said Sasuke as he started running away. Naruto took off after him, and when he caught up he said, what's so bad about girls with a crush? They are like a mob, man, they will eat us alive. Naruto's eyes went wide as well as he noticed they were gaining on them. Oh shit Sasuke, hold on, said Naruto as he grabbed Sasuke's shoulder and disappeared in a flash of red light. The fangirls converged on the area where Naruto and Sasuke just disappeared from, and they all said, where's Sasuke-kun? And where's Naruto-kun? Hey, who cares about Naruto? Sasuke-kun is gone. Sasuke sucks, we have to find my Naruto-kun. As they broke out into a fight, kicking up a large dust cloud, screaming, and calling each other names. Shikamaru looked to where the girls were at with a puzzled look, wondering how Naruto and Sasuke got away as the duo appeared in a red flash beside him. What the? Said Shikamaru, Sasuke, Ino, and Choji simultaneously. Flying Thunder God. It's my dad's signature jutsu, like a clan technique sort of. It allows me to transport anywhere that mark or throw one of these special made kunai," said Naruto as he held up a tri-pronged kunai. "Sweet move, Naruto. It just saved our asses," said Sasuke as he grinned a little. "Look at what they're doing to each other. That's why we had to run." "I see," said Naruto. "Whoa, Naruto, that move is so cool," said Ino. "Thanks, Ino," said Naruto as he rubbed his neck and smiled. "Well, we are about to be late, and that would be awfully troublesome. We should go on in now," said Shikamaru. "Sure," said everyone simultaneously as they walked into the building and to their classroom. Ino, Shikamaru, and Choji sat on one row and Naruto and Sasuke sat beside each other on the next row down, leaving a seat open beside each of them. Naruto and Sasuke were turned around talking to the others when suddenly Naruto and Sasuke Kyuin rang out from the door as the girls started knocking each other down trying to get to the open seat. "Beat it, he's mine!" yelled one of the girls with long pink hair and a red dress as she knocked a girl out of the way and sat beside Sasuke. Sasuke just proceeded to slam his head down onto the desk as Shikamaru laughed at the ordeal. "Move it, bitch, he belongs to me now," said a girl with short lavender hair and white eyes with a cream-colored coat and blue ninja pants as she pushed her way into the seat beside Naruto. Naruto followed Sasuke's example and slammed his head down on the desk as he said, "Sasuke, do it." Naruto and Sasuke disappeared in a flash of red light as the girls started going crazy again. What happened to them this time? And I bet it was Sasuke-kun trying to show off for us. "And you wish, you crazy bitch," that was obviously Naruto-kun, until finally the door flew open and a man in his early 20s walked through the door and yelled, "Alright everyone, sit down and shut up," as all the fangirls ran away to find seats and the lavender and pink-haired girls sat back down. "Alright, time for roll call. Choji Akimichi? Here." The man continued down the list until he reached Naruto. "Naruto Namikaze?" He looked around the room a second. "Naruto Namikaze?" Suddenly a red flash appeared in the seat between the two fangirls and Naruto said, "Here." "Why are you too late?" yelled the man. "Sorry. We got lost on the road of life," said Naruto as he rubbed the back of his neck. "Great. The Uchiha and the Hokage-san are friends and we have a mini Kakashi on our hands." "Okay then, smartass, don't ever be late to my class again," yelled Iruka as he used the big head jutsu on them. "Sorry," said Naruto and Sasuke. "Okay," said Iruka as he continued the roll call and everyone snickered at the boys getting in trouble. "Now that that's out of the way, my name is Iruka Yumino. I'm a Chunin and I will be your instructor. You may refer to me as Iruka-sensei. Any questions? Okay, good. Open your books to page 1. Later that day. "Okay, that is all for today, you are dismissed," said Iruka as everyone closed their book and started to leave. "Uchiha Namikaze, I need to have a word with you too." Naruto and Sasuke looked at each other and gulped. Out in the hallway, Shikamaru, Ino, and Choji waited where they could hear the screams and they winced occasionally. A few minutes later, Sasuke and Naruto came out of the room and the group all walked off down the hallway. "So guys, how about we go eat to celebrate our first day?" "My treat," said Naruto. "Sure, let's go," said everyone simultaneously. So they all started walking towards Ichiraku's ramen stand. Once they got out of the school and started walking down the road, they heard a familiar sound again, but less annoying than before. "Hey Sasuke-kun," said the pink-haired girl. "Who are you?" said Sasuke as he looked at the girl. "My name is Sakura Haruno. I was wondering if you would like to go eat sometime or something." "Well, she is definitely better without the crowd. It can't hurt to let her tag along, I don't suppose." "Well, we are going to eat right now. You can come with us if you want. As long as Naruto doesn't mind." This was his idea. "It's fine with me." "You said you were Sakura, right? I guess you already know that this is Sasuke, I'm Naruto, and this is Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru," as he pointed at each respectively. "Hi Sakura," said Choji and Ino. "Troublesome," said Shikamaru. "Well, let's carry on, shall we?" said Sasuke. "Hold on a second," said a voice as everyone turned around to see the white-eyed girl standing a few yards back. "Well, who are you?" said Naruto. "My name is Hinata Hyuga. I don't mean to impose, but would you mind if I tagged along also, Naruto-kun? That's the girl who sat beside me earlier. She seems a lot better without the rest of the fangirls." "What harm could it do?" thought Naruto. "Sure, that's fine by me, you can come," said Naruto. "Thank you, Naruto-kun," said Hinata with a blush. "Let's try this again then," said Sasuke as they turned and walked back towards Ichiraku's again. 4 years later. It is 1 week before graduation and all the students sat in class listening to Iruka lecture for the last time before they graduated. After the lecture was their graduation exam and team assignments, and then they had the week off before the ceremony. Over the years, Naruto has now mastered the FTG on his father's level, along with finishing his wind style, Rasengan, and showing his dad how he did it, which enabled him to complete his own. Naruto also combined his lighting element to the Rasengan as well, which his dad has yet to accomplish. Naruto has picked up many wind, lightning, and water jutsu, deciding to be proficient in all 3 rather than master one while he is weak in the others. Sasuke has also become very strong over the years. Aided by his brother Itachi, He has become a master of fire-style techniques. He has also awoken his one-tomo Sharingan. Sasuke has recently discovered that he has an affinity for lightning also, so Kakashi helped him along with some lightning jutsu. Sasuke and Naruto have worked together and complement each other greatly, with Naruto's wind and water, and Sasuke's fire and lighting. They have developed a few collaboration techniques, and as a duo they are feared even by many jonin in the village. Naruto's other friends have also gained much ground with their clan techniques as well as some other skills. Well, that's it everyone. We are officially done with lectures for the year. In a few moments myself and Mizuki-sensei will begin to call you two at a time into the next room for your graduation exam. Everyone understand? Said Irika. Meanwhile, at the Hokage's office. So have you considered my offer, Itachi? Said Minato. Yes, Hokage-sama. While it is untraditional, it will allow me to keep my little brother and his best friend safer. If you don't mind me asking though, why did you decide to do this? Well, it's clear that Naruto and Sasuke are in a league of their own, and I fear that putting them on a normal Genin team would inhibit their skills. I believe them to be high Chunin, low Jonin level already. They actually remind me of you at their age, Itachi. Well, Hokage-sama, I would be honored to teach them alongside Kakashi. Thank you, Itachi. You and Kakashi will meet them there at 5 p.m. today. Yes, sir. Will there be anything further? No, you are dismissed. And with that Itachi disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Back at the academy, Irika stepped in the door and said, Namikaze, Uchiha, your turn. Come on. Naruto and Sasuke got up and grinned at each other before walking down the stairs and out of the room with Irika. When they arrived in the testing room, Mizuki called out, Namikaze, you'll be with me. As Irika said, that means I've got you, Uchiha. For your graduation exam I want you to make 2 clones, and henge one into me. You may begin. Sasuke smiled and 2 clones appeared at his side, one in the form of Irika. Very impressive, you made a bunshin with no hand seals. Good job, Sasuke, you pass. Said Irika as he handed Sasuke a headband, not just any bunshin. Being best friends with the village's leading expert on shadow clones has its advantages. Said Sasuke with a smirk. Wow, very good, Sasuke, that is a Jonin level technique. Who is this expert you speak of? You're looking at him. Said Naruto with a smirk of his own. Naruto? Said Irika, you are the so-called master of the cage bunshin? Yep. Said Naruto as 3 clones suddenly appeared, one in the form of Irika, one as Mizuki, and the last as Sasuke, with the Irika and Mizuki clones sitting in the seats where the original ones previously were, compliments of a Kawarimi. Well then. You are both very impressive then. You pass too, Naruto. Said Irika as he handed Naruto a headband. Congratulations, Naruto. Said Sasuke. You too. I didn't know you could do clones without seals yet though. Yeah, I've been keeping it a surprise. Said Sasuke as he smirked. The two walked out of the room and back to their own to await the team announcements, while Irika and Mizuki continued the testing. So Sasuke, did you feel anything off about Mizuki-sensei? Yeah, I did get a bad feeling about him. I wonder what he's up to. I'm not sure, but we should find out. Said Naruto with an evil grin as a clone appeared beside him. Naruto reached up and whispered something to the clone and it disappeared in a flash of red. Back at the Hokage's office, Minato sat at his desk taking break on one of the rare occasions that his paperwork was caught up when suddenly a red ball of light appeared in front of his desk. Naruto, what are you doing here? The clone bowed and said, Hokage-sama, I am just a clone. Naruto told me to come inform you that there may be something going on with Mizuki-sensei. Care to elaborate on that? Sir, both your son and Sasuke felt something off when they went in the room with him to take their final. They are not sure what is going on but felt that you should know just in case. Naruto also told me to request permission for him to investigate further into the issue. Alright, permission granted, but make sure to be careful with it, and call if I am needed. Yes, sir. Said the clone as it poofed away into smoke. Well, just passed his Genin final and you're already sending him off on an A-rank mission with only another Genin. Said a voice from behind Minato. Yes, sensei, I have had some reports of strange behavior from Mizuki lately but nothing concrete. If those two were able to sense bad intentions from him, then maybe they can get to the bottom of it. Besides, you forget that they will only be Genin for a couple of weeks. We are going to field test them and promote them both as soon as possible. Yeah, politics and the whatnot. Said Jiraiya as he grinned at Minato. Back at the academy, so what's your plan, Naruto? Said Sasuke. Well, I feel as if he has something in mind for very soon. Possibly involving one of the Genin candidates, maybe? You could be right, but what would a Jonin need a Genin for? Naruto's eyes went wide as he said infiltration. He wants to trick one of the Genin into getting something for him so he doesn't have to risk being caught. But who? And what does he want? Good point, Naruto. He is after something in the village and wants to manipulate someone into doing it for him to cut the risk. I have an idea. Said Naruto as a clone appeared beside him and hinged into Kakashi and walked out the door. What was that about? We need a list of all the Genin who failed their exams. I have an idea about who he wants and how to figure out what. Well, there's a brain somewhere in there after all. Said Sasuke as he grinned and punched Naruto in the arm with Naruto's clone. Kakashi walked down the hallway until he got to the exam room. He knocked on the door and heard Irika say enter. Kakashi walked in and said, Irika, may I have a word with you outside? Sure, Kakashi-san. said Iruka as he got up and made his way to the hallway. So Kakashi, what is it that you wanted? First of all, this is a clone of Naruto. I am hinged into Kakashi so I don't draw attention talking to you like this. What I came for is to ask you for a list of all the candidates who failed to pass the exam. Naruto, I can't just hand that out, it is confidential. It is under the order of the Hokage. We suspect Mizuki is up to something and are trying to figure out what it is. I need a list of all the candidates who failed the test so I can figure out who the target is. Okay Naruto, I'll be right back with what we have so far. Okay. Iruka walked into the room and returned a moment later with a piece of paper with several names written on it. Thank you Iruka-sensei. Here, I want you to take this for now, said Naruto as he handed Iruka a paper tag with a seal for the FTG on it. If you find out anything about what he is up to, channel some chakra into that seal and it'll come as soon as I can. Okay Naruto, be careful, said Iruka as Kakashi walked off back towards the classroom. Back in the classroom, Naruto and Sasuke were sitting there discussing more about Mizuki when suddenly the door opened and Kakashi walked in. Hello Kakashi-sensei, what brings you here? Said Naruto convincingly. You have received an important message from the Hokage, said Kakashi. Ah, thank you sensei, said Naruto as he stood up and bowed to Kakashi, who then shunshined to outside of the room before dispelling himself. Well, good job on that one Naruto, said Sasuke as they looked at the paper. Naruto quickly took a pen and copied the list of names and made another clone beside him. I need you to take my reply to the Hokage, said Naruto. Yes sir, said the clone as it walked out the door before disappearing in a red flash. At the Hokage office, the clone appeared in front of Minato's desk as Minato said, what is it that you've found Naruto? Sir, I have a list of names here that Naruto wishes to receive information about. What kind of information does he request? Naruto wishes to know about the home life of all of these people, as well as any past questionable acts or run-ins with ANBU. Okay, I can do that, hold on for just a minute, said Minato as he turned to his computer and started typing before he printed off several pages and handed them to the clone. This is what he seeks. It is for yours and Sasuke's eyes only and is to be destroyed after you finish. Yes sir, said the clone as he flashed away. Well, it looks like they are making progress. Maybe you were right to allow them to do this, said Jiraiya. Yes, they are doing exceptionally well. Hopefully they will get to the bottom of it and stop whatever he has planned. Back at the academy, Naruto's clone flashed in at the door, then turned to walk inside and delivered the paper to Naruto. Thank you, said Naruto as the clone dispelled. Well Sasuke, we got background reports on all of the names listed. Shall we? They won't search themselves, said Sasuke as he grabbed half of the stack and started looking for anything that looked different. He found 3 reports that were of interest to him and set them to the side. Naruto also searched his stack and separated 2 reports from the rest. When he finished, he looked to Sasuke and said, well, I found 2 persons of interest. What about you? I got 3 that are interesting, said Sasuke as he handed the stack to Naruto. Naruto looked over the 5 people for a moment before he said, I think this is the one right here, as he laid the paper on the desk. Akina Kasuki, 12 years old, orphaned. Both parents died on a mission 8 years ago. She has been caught by the ANBU on several occasions stealing from various booths in the market since she was kicked out of the orphanage when she turned 8 and started to the academy, said Naruto as another clone appeared beside him. He wrote the girl's name on a piece of paper and handed it to the clone. I need you to go to Iruka and get this girl's progress report from the academy for the last 4 years. Yes sir, said the clone as he walked to the hallway and hinged into Kakashi again and went to the exam room. He knocked on the door and stepped inside and said, sorry to keep interrupting you Iruka, but may I speak with you again? Iruka nodded and walked out to the hall with Kakashi. What do you need Naruto? I need the progress report for this girl for her 4 years at the academy. By the way, you are sworn to secrecy about this matter as of now until we figure out what is going on. Okay, follow me to my office and I'll get the report for you. Iruka and Kakashi walked down the hall to Iruka's office where he printed off a 4-year report on the girl and handed it to Kakashi, who walked to the door as he changed back to Naruto and went inside and handed the papers to the real Naruto. Thank you, said Naruto as the clone dispelled. Well, it appears that the girl struggled to stay afloat all throughout school, but she did excel at stealth techniques and henge. That fits the profile that Mizuki would need to infiltrate something. So now we have a who, we still need a what though. I've got an idea for that. We need to find her. Mizuki will likely go after her once the exams are done. We need to find her first and have one of our clones henge into her. He will make his offer to her, and then we will have our what. After that, all we have to do is set a trap. Good idea. Seems I'm not the only one who has a brain at this table, said Naruto as he laughed. Let's pay a visit to the Hokage. Naruto put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder and disappeared in a red flash only to reappear in front of the Hokage. Sasuke bowed as Naruto said, Dad, I think we found Mizuki's target, or at least part of it. We came to get your opinion before we continued on though. What have you learned? Asked Minato. Well, there's a girl our age from another class. Her name is Akina Kasuki. She is orphaned and was kicked out of the orphanage 4 years ago. Since then she has apparently turned to stealing to get by on. She struggled in the academy in all fields except stealth and the henge jutsu. We believe that Mizuki intends to manipulate her somehow into infiltrating somewhere to get something for him. That way he is out of the fire, so to speak. We plan on talking to this Akina girl and then hinging into her so that when Mizuki comes to offer the deal we will know what he wants, as well as gain evidence against him," said Naruto. "Very well, you have my approval on the matter. You two have done exceptional on this, especially for only being Genin for less than 2 hours," said Minato with a grin. "You may leave now, report back with any findings." "Yes, sir," said both boys as they disappeared in a flash of red. "Damn, Minato, you better watch it, he's gunning for your job hard now. That's a damn impressive investigation judging from his report. You were definitely right to let them go ahead with this," said Jiraiya. "Yeah, I know, it makes me proud both as a father and as the Hokage. My boy will be a damn fine Hokage when his time comes," said Minato as he smiled big. Back in the village with Naruto and Sasuke. Naruto and Sasuke were looking for the address they found for the girl in one of the not-so-nice neighborhoods in Konoha. After about 10 minutes of looking they found the house they were looking for and knocked on the door. "1 minute please," said a feminine voice that sounded sad. A second later a young girl that looked like the picture of Akina, only less healthy and a bit older, opened the door and quickly stepped out and shut the door. "How may I help you today? Are you Akina Kasuki?" asked Sasuke in a friendly voice. "Yes, why? We would like to talk to you for a moment if you don't mind." "How about some lunch?" said Naruto. "I'm Akina, my treat. So how about it? I'm sure that will be fine. I'll be right back, okay?" said Akina as she quickly opened the door and disappeared, and then a moment later came back looking like she cleaned up a bit. "So Akina, what would you like to eat?" said Naruto. "Anything is fine with me, I just realized I never got your names." "I'm sorry," said Akina as she looked down at the ground. "Oh sorry, where are our manners? My name is Naruto Namikaze and this is my friend Sasuke Uchiha. But anyways, you pick anywhere you want to go, and we will follow." "You mean Naruto Namikaze, the son of the fourth? And Sasuke Uchiha, the brother of Itachi Uchiha? You two are quite famous among Genin and Academy students," said Akina as she led them into a barbecue joint a few blocks from her house, in the nicer area of the neighborhood. "Yeah, that's us, but we are just normal people. Regular Genin, so don't try to treat us as special or anything please," said Sasuke. They all sat down at a table and ordered their food as they talked a bit about nothing. Once the food came, Naruto ran through a couple of hand seals as a barrier of red chakra formed around them and disappeared as Akina looked at him fearfully. "Don't worry Akina, it was just a privacy jutsu. As we said earlier, we need to talk to you about some sensitive issues." "Like what?" "Well Akina, to begin, we are led to believe that Mizuki-sensei plans to use you for something. What we are not sure yet, but that's why we came to talk to you." "Mizuki hasn't spoken to you since the exam, has he?" asked Naruto. "No, he hasn't. Wait, yes, right after my exam he told me that he would give me a chance to retest. He told me to meet him at Training Ground 18 at 8 p.m. tonight. Does that have anything to do with what you guys want?" "Yes it does Akina. He was lying to you about the retest. You can only retest in the academy. 3 days from now they will have a retest, and you can take it then. But tonight he was trying to get you in trouble. If you agree to help us we will help you pass your exam and graduate with us Friday. Sound good? What do you need me to do?" "We need your permission to henge into you and go to this meeting with Mizuki. If you agree we can find out his plan and stop him as well as get evidence against him," said Sasuke. "Okay, I agree. Thank you guys so much for keeping me out of trouble. I get into enough of it on my own," said Akina as she frowned and looked like she was about to cry. "Akina, I want you to take this," said Naruto as he pulled out some money, "and get a hotel for now. If for some reason we fail to capture Mizuki then he will know where you live and may try to harm you. So there is plenty of money there for a hotel room and some food for 2 days. If something happens we can go from there. Thanks for your help. We will each leave a clone to help you get a couple of things from home if you need, as well as to let us know where you're staying so we can find you if we need to talk anymore." With that they finished eating and each left a clone with Akina and flashed away to the Hokage's office. "Hello again boys, what have you found now?" "We found the girl and spoke with her. She said that Mizuki promised her a chance to retest if she met him at Training Ground 18 at 8 p.m. I will henge into her and attend a meeting to find out Mizuki's objective as well as gain concrete evidence. Once I get what I need I will give a sign and Naruto will capture him. How does that sound, Hokage-sama?" "Excellent plan boys. As I said, you have my full support." "Thanks Dad." "Thank you sir." As both boys disappeared again and reappeared at Naruto's house, which was not far from Training Ground 18, they started to walk over to the training ground to inspect it and lay a trap for Mizuki. 7:30 that night, Naruto and Sasuke had just finished going over the plan again, and Sasuke henged into Akina and made his way over to a large rock on the edge of the field as Naruto sat on the roof of his home with a pair of binoculars waiting for the signal. A few minutes later Mizuki came walking into the training ground and over to Akina. "I'm glad you came Akina. Are you ready for your test?" Akina nodded her head and said, "Yes sensei, what do I have to?" "What you are to do is to break into the Jutsu archive in the Hokage Tower and get the scroll of forbidden seals. Once you get it, if you can learn any one jutsu from the scroll you will pass. There is a clearing 1 mile northwest of the village. I will be waiting there for you at 2 a.m. If you can learn a jutsu from the scroll and demonstrate it to me by 2 o'clock then you will pass and be a genin. Do you understand? Yes, said Akina as she bowed deeper than normal to Mizuki. At that exact moment there was a bright flash of red light in front of Mizuki as he was sent flying backwards from a fist in his gut. Before he knew what happened there was another flash behind him and he was drove into the ground hard, forming a small crater around his body. No sooner than he hit a giant white hot fire ball was sent flying at him. He noticed it in time and ran through some hand seals and yelled Earth style, Earth Dome. As a dome of mud encased him, he let the dome fall and jumped out onto the ground and looked around but found no one around, when suddenly a red flash appeared in front of him and kicked him high into the air. As he was flying up, Naruto started going through some hand seals and focusing his chakra, while Sasuke jumped above Mizuki and kicked him down, sending him flying towards the earth. As soon as he hit, Sasuke was on him again, an axe kicked him in the stomach, sending him further down into a crater. As soon as he stood up to walk out, he was surrounded by a ball of water as Naruto said water style, water prison jutsu. Sasuke then walked up to the dome and looked at Mizuki as Mizuki yelled, "You little bastards, you're just Genin, how the hell did you beat me?" "Well, first of all, we're no ordinary Genin," said Sasuke, "and second, even the mightiest of warriors can be brought down with a good strategy. You didn't even know who we were until we caught you and I revealed myself," said Naruto. With that, Naruto dropped the water prison and instantly appeared behind Mizuki and hit a pressure point on his neck, knocking him out instantly. Sasuke quickly tied him up and kicked him in the ribs for good measures. Naruto walked up and put one hand on Sasuke's shoulder and another on Mizuki as they disappeared in a red flash. Minato looked up as a red flash appeared in his room, and as it faded he seen his son and Sasuke standing over an unconscious Mizuki. As Naruto began his report of what happened. "Great job catching this traitor, boys. You guarded one of the biggest secrets of our village by taking him out. I'm proud of you both. Now here is your pay for an A-rank mission." "Thank you, Hokage-sama, it was our honor to catch this scum who would take advantage of a poor girl with a broken spirit." "Thanks, Dad, and Sasuke is right. He is a piece of shit for trying to prey on her emotions. She's got it hard, Dad. Is there anything we can do to help her?" "Well, I could give her pay for an A rank since she had a part in this mission as well." "Well, if that's the case, I'd like to put a bounty on Mizuki and pretend that we were never here and that she brought him in," said Naruto as he handed his money back to his dad. "Same goes for me. I'll match Naruto's bounty. Shall we deliver the pay as well as the bounty to Akina, sir?" "Yes, that will be fine, Sasuke. You and Naruto report back here at 8 a.m. tomorrow to receive her package. By the way, that was a very mature thing to do, both of you. I'm so proud of you." Naruto met Sasuke at the tower at around 7:45 and they went on into his dad's office to receive the envelope with mission pay as well as the bounty on Mizuki. Minato gave them the package and they walked out on their way to the hotel that Akina was staying at. Along the way they were talking just like old friends do, wondering who would be on whose team. There was no chance that they would be on the same team, since traditionally, the Rookie of the Year would be paired with the Dobe of the class, along with the best Kunoichi, just to balance things out. Since Naruto was number 1 and Sasuke was number 2, they probably wouldn't be paired up. Pretty soon they arrived at Akina's hotel and knocked on the door. She came to answer it and looked happy to see who it was. "Good morning, guys," said Akina with a smile. "Morning, Akina," said Sasuke. "Good morning," said Naruto. "So what brings you out here so early?" asked Akina. "Well," said Sasuke, "we have a surprise for you." "A surprise?" "Yep, since you helped take down an immediate threat to the village, you were awarded the pay for an A-rank mission. Also, there was a bounty of 20,000 Ryo on Mizuki that you get. So all in all you just got 30,000 Ryo," said Naruto as he smiled at her. Sasuke handed her the envelope and she opened it and looked inside and then looked back at Naruto and Sasuke and just threw herself at them and hugged them both and started crying. "Why are you crying, Akina?" asked Sasuke. "Because I'm so happy, I've never seen that much money before. That's enough, I can get a house outside of that shitty neighborhood and maybe I can make some friends and..." "You've already got friends, Akina. We're your friends. And besides, money doesn't buy friends," said Naruto. "You don't understand. I've lived in that shitty rundown apartment since I was 8 years old. I've never had enough money to even buy food, much less a decent place to stay or clothes. Nobody would hang out with me because of the way I looked. And I wanted to be a ninja so bad and I needed it so I could make enough money to at least eat. But then I failed the test and that bastard Mizuki tried to take advantage of me." "Don't worry about Mizuki. He got what he deserved. And don't worry about the graduation test. We have all day today and tomorrow to get you ready and we're going to do our best," said Sasuke. "You guys don't have to go out of your way for me." "No, we don't have to, but we want to. That's what friends do, they help each other," said Naruto as he smiled at her and she slowly started to smile back. "So, how good are you at clones?" "I'm not very good at anything besides henge." "That's okay, we can help you with that. Just do these hand seals," said Sasuke as he slowly went over the seals a few times, "and then imagine cloning yourself." Akina did the seals and a clone formed. However, it wasn't very good and looked like a ghost of herself. "Try to add some more chakra to it. Also envision yourself as the clone forms," said Naruto. Akina tried it again, and this time the clone looked a lot better but still wasn't perfect. "You guys must think I'm stupid since I can't even do a simple clone. I'm sorry, I don't even deserve to be a ninja," said Akina as she started to cry again. It's okay, Akina, we don't think you're stupid. You just didn't have anyone to teach you, it's not your fault, said Sasuke. With some practice you'll be able to do it just fine, and then you can learn other techniques as well. Don't get yourself down just because the teachers in the academy ignored you and you never had a chance to learn. We are here to help you now, said Naruto. Wow, I really don't deserve this, guys. Everyone deserves at least a chance, Akina. So why don't you give the clone jutsu another shot? Said Sasuke. Akina tried a few more times and finally got the clone right. She was jumping up and down happy because that meant she could graduate and be a ninja. Hey Sasuke, look with your Sharingan and see if you can get a reading on her chakra, said Naruto. Akina, flare your chakra all at once, okay? Okay, said Akina as she started gathering and releasing her chakra. Her reserves are decent, not good enough for shadow clones though. Maybe 2, but that would be risky, said Sasuke. You're right, it's better not to risk it. How about we work on chakra control, said Naruto. That would be a good place to start, said Sasuke. So what do I need to do? Asked Akina. Take this, said Naruto as he pulled out a leaf and stick it to your forehead using chakra. And just keep it there while you go about your day normally. Once you can keep the leaf there without even thinking about it, then stick another one somewhere else and hold both on there. When you are able to do that, it should make everything else, such as making a clone, much easier. So you can work on that, and good luck on your test tomorrow. We'll meet you here at 8 a.m. to check your progress. Bye Naruto, thank you so much for your help, said Akina as she hugged Naruto. I've got to go too, just work on the leaf exercise and we'll see you in the morning. Bye Sasuke, thank you too, said Akina as she hugged him too. Naruto and Sasuke both walked out of the house and started down the road when Sasuke said, so now what are you gonna do? I don't know, I think I'm gonna, said Naruto as he stopped for a minute. Well, Dad just called, so I'm gonna go see what he wants. See you in the morning, see you later, said Sasuke as Naruto flashed away. Naruto appeared in a flash of red in his dad's office and said, you called Dad? Yes Naruto, we've got a present for you in honor of your graduation, said Minato. Ah, thanks Dad, what is it? Jiraiya bit his thumb and went through some hand signs, then he put his hand down on the desk as a small toad carrying a scroll appeared. Hello Jiraiya-sama, Minato-sama, here is the scroll you requested. And as quick as it came it poofed away again. Cool, what was that? Said Naruto. Well, that was partly your present Naruto, said Jiraiya as he unrolled the scroll on the desk. Naruto looked and seen that the scroll had 2 names on it. Jiraiya and Minato Namikaze. So what is it? Said Naruto. Son, this is the summoning contract of the toads. One of the 3 most powerful summons in Konoha. Cool, said Naruto. So son, would you like to be a summoner of the toads? Sure, that'd be awesome. Okay Naruto, I need you to cut your finger and sign your name in blood on beside your dad's, said Jiraiya. Naruto pulled out a kunai and cut his finger and proceeded to sign his name on the line beside his dad. When he finished, the scroll glowed green for a moment, then rolled back up and disappeared. Okay, now here are the hand seals for the summoning jutsu. Just watch a couple of times, said Jiraiya as he slowly went through the seals as Naruto watched. Okay, your turn. Naruto pricked his thumb and went through the hand seals and touched his hand to the desk as a small orange toad hopped out of the smoke. Howdy Jiraiya, Minato. What's going on? Actually Gamakichi, my son just signed the contract. He hasn't met your dad yet though. You're his first summon. Oh I see, hey there, my name is Gamakichi. I'm Naruto Namikaze. Cool, we're gonna be best friends, said Gamakichi as he hopped onto Naruto's head. Okay then, said Naruto as he started to giggle. Well son, how did the meeting with Akina go earlier? It went well. We gave her the money, and she was so happy. Then we helped he get the clone jutsu straightened out so she could pass the test tomorrow. I hope she passes, she's such a nice girl, but she's had it so hard her whole life, she deserves something at least, said Naruto as he frowned. She'll do fine, she had a good teacher after all, said Minato as he smiled at his son. Thanks Dad. I think I'm going to go home and train some. See you later Dad, Uncle Jiraiya. See ya son, said Minato as Naruto walked out the door. Naruto decided to walk home today since it was still early, and he wasn't in any hurry. While he was on his way, someone turned around a corner running and bumped into him, knocking him down and falling on top of him. I'm so sorry. I wasn't watching where I was, Naruto, said the person. Ino? Said Naruto as he started to blush, realizing that her face was only inches from his. Ino started to blush as well, noticing the same thing. She jumped up, still red-faced. Naruto, I'm sorry, I was just on my way to the flower shop, I'm running late. Oh, it's no problem Ino, want me to take you there? Said Naruto. You don't have to do, said Ino as Naruto wrapped his arm around her waist, and she turned even redder. It's no problem, hold on, said Naruto as they disappeared in a flash of red and reappeared right outside of the shop. I've got a seal tag on yours, Shikamaru, Choji, and Sasuke's house in case I need to get there quick. Paid off today, huh? Said Naruto with a sheepish grin. Wow, thanks Naruto, said Ino as she hugged him, and he once again turned red. After she realized what she was doing, she pulled back and turned red again also. I'm sorry about that. I'd better get inside before Daddy kills me. See ya Naruto, see ya Ino. as she ran inside and he turned to walk off towards his home again. So Naruto, who's your girlfriend? Said Gamakichi. She's not my girlfriend, just a friend Gamakichi. She sure looked like she likes you and you like her, so why isn't she your girlfriend? I don't think she likes me like that. Shit bro, did you see the way she was looking at you? You should ask her out sometime and see where it goes. I don't know, I'll think about it. Okay. Well, I'm heading home Naruto. Be sure to summon me so I can watch your graduation, okay? I will. See ya Gamakichi. Once he made it home, he went out back to the training yard and decided to work on some jutsu until supper time. He made 3 shadow clones that instantly got into a ready stance. Naruto jumped back from the clones and started running through hand seals as he said wind style, wind bullets, as balls of compressed air shot out of his mouth at the clones who were dodging them with ease. One of the clones said wind style, Rasengan, and started charging at Naruto. Naruto went through some hand seals and said water style, exploding water colliding wave, as a large amount of water poured out of his mouth and formed into a wave which crashed into the clone, dispelling it. The other 2 clones jumped out of the way and formed their own hand seals as they said lightning style, false darkness. And the other said water style, water cannon jutsu. As the stream of water shot at Naruto, the lightning bolt wrapped around it and charged the water. Just as the water was about to his, Naruto ran through some hand seals and said wind release, raging tornado jutsu. As a large mass of spinning wind came out of his mouth and collided with the lightning-charged water, dispelling both techniques and making a thick mist around them, Naruto took advantage of the mist as he ran through some hand signs and said lightning style, Rasengan. As a compressed ball of lightning shot out of his hand and through one of the clones, dispelling it before the ball hit a tree and the tree dissolved into near nothing. The remaining clone looked around trying to find where the attack came from as red flash appeared in front of him, and before he knew it a Chidori was shoved through his chest, dispelling him. Naruto smiled and whipped around some wind to blow away the mist, finding his dad standing up by the house watching him. Good job, son, said Minato. I like the Rasengan. It looks to be quite effective. Thanks, Dad, I think it worked out good too. So Naruto, you can beat 3 clones at once. But what about your old man? Said Minato as he smirked. I can try at least, said Naruto as he jumped back from his dad. Ready, go, said Minato as he started running at Naruto. He threw one of his kunai at Naruto and said wind style, Rasengan, as he disappeared in a flash of yellow. Naruto knew what was coming, so he said wind style, Rasengan, as he charged towards the kunai. He shoved the Rasengan at the kunai and knocked it down, instead of hitting his dad. Before he knew what happened, he got drilled in the back by his dad's Rasengan and flew into a tree. As he got back up to a knee, his dad was already on him again. He ducked under a spin kick and rolled to the side as Minato rolled into an axe kick. He jumped back up to the side of the tree and ran through some hand seals and said water style, water dragon jutsu, as a large stream of water shot out of his mouth in the shape of a dragon. Minato jumped aside and dodged the dragon as he ran through his own seals and said water style, water dragon jutsu, as his own dragon shot out of his mouth and started fighting with Naruto's. Minato noticed that Naruto was no longer on the tree anymore and started looking around trying to find him. He threw a kunai straight into the air and disappeared just as a kunai hit the ground beside him and red flash appeared. Naruto looked up just in time to see his dad coming down at his head with his fist drew back. Naruto tried to dodge, but the attack still caught him and sent him flying across the yard and into a tree. Minato stood back up and said, good job, son, you really pushed me this time. And you didn't even use your best attacks. You'll be able to beat me in no time. Yeah, I can't use my Rasen Raikurai or Rasen Shuriken in a friendly spar. They are both one-hit kills. Yeah, it would be hard to explain to everyone how you killed the Hokage in a training spar, wouldn't it? Yeah, I guess it would, said Naruto as he grinned and rubbed the back of his neck. The next day, Akina's house. So do you think you're ready, Akina? Said Sasuke. Yeah, look, I can stick 3 leaves to my body and make clones at the same time now, said Akina as she stuck the leaves to her forehead and arms and formed 3 clones. Good job, Akina. You'll pass for sure now, said Sasuke. So, are you ready to go? Said Naruto. Sure, let's do this, said Akina with a grin. Naruto walked over and put a hand on her shoulder as well as Sasuke's, and Akina said, what are you? And they disappeared in a flash of red. They reappeared in front of the academy as Akina finished doing? As she looked around. How did we get here? Naruto's Flying Thunder God technique. It lets him teleport anywhere he has one of his sealed tags, said Sasuke as he pointed at the tag beside the door on the academy. Wow, that's pretty cool, Naruto. Thanks. But you need to go on and take your test. We'll be waiting out here. Okay, thanks guys, see you soon. Akina went in the doors as Sasuke turned to Naruto and said, so what do we do for the next hour? I don't know, how about a spar? Sure, let's go, said Sasuke as they walked to the training yard near the academy. Ready, said Naruto. Go, said Sasuke as he jumped just in time to avoid a Rasengan. He flipped in the air and ran through some hand seals and said fire style, great fireball jutsu, as a large ball of fire shot out of his mouth at Naruto. Naruto seen it just in time to throw a kunai and teleport to it as another ball of fire shot at him. He threw the kunai and once again teleported to it. As he reappeared, he was already going through some hand seals as yet another fireball came at him. Water style, water dragon jutsu, yelled Naruto as he spat out a dragon-shaped stream of water that flew right through Sasuke's fireball and into him, driving him into the ground where he poofed into a log. Naruto jumped and flipped backwards just in time to avoid a spin kick by Sasuke as landed and launched his own kick at Sasuke, who also dodged. They continued in a taijutsu bout briefly until Sasuke saw an opening and uppercut Naruto in the gut, knocking him into the air. Before Naruto had a chance to right himself, Sasuke was upon him. Sasuke did a front flip and dropped an axe kick into Naruto's ribs that sent him smashing into the ground as he disappeared in a poof of smoke. Shit, shadow clone, thought Sasuke as suddenly he heard a howling noise behind him. He turned to look just in time for a wind dragon to slam into him. It pushed him back into a tree and made several small cuts appear all over him. He fell to the ground panting as Naruto walked up and offered his hand. Sasuke took it and stood back up as he said, "Damn it, I'll beat you one day, Naruto." Sure, whatever you want to believe," said Naruto with a smirk as he started healing the cuts Sasuke got. The two walked over and sat down on a bench waiting for Akina to finish up when Naruto noticed Ino walk by a little way away. "Be right back, Sasuke," said Naruto as he disappeared in a swirl of leaves, and reappeared in front of Ino, scaring her. She jumped back surprised for a second and then said, "Oh, Naruto, sorry, you kind of scared me." "What's up?" with a small smile and a blush. "Sorry for scaring you. I have a question for you though." "What is it?" "Well," said Naruto as he blushed, "I was wondering what you were doing Saturday." "Oh my god, is Naruto asking me out?" thought Ino as she smiled bigger and blushed a little deeper. "I can't believe it, I thought he would never ask." I'm not doing anything, why?" said Ino as she tried to fight back her blush. "Well, I thought maybe I was wondering if you'd like to maybe go out and eat to celebrate our graduation," said Naruto as he blushed deeper. "Sure, I'd love to," said Ino as both her and Naruto smiled. "Cool, I'll pick you up at 7 then?" "Not so fast, Mr. Player," said Ino with an evil grin. "What is it, Ino-chan?" "Oh, he called me Chan." "Yes," thought Ino. "First you're going to have to ask Daddy for permission." "Don't worry though, he doesn't bite too hard," said Naruto as he went pale. "Like I said, don't worry my little Naruto-kun, he's not so bad," said Ino as she grinned a little bigger. "Just come to the flower shop later today and talk to him. I'll see you then." She kissed him on the cheek and started to walk off, taking care to strut her stuff for him. "Wow, I guess Gamakichi was right, she really does like me. I can't believe she said yes." "Sweet," thought Naruto as he grinned ear to ear. Sasuke sat there watching the whole ordeal and thought, damn, he works fast. As Naruto appeared back in front of him in a swirl of leaves. "Hey, is the teleporting with leaves your dad's jutsu?" "It looks different," said Sasuke. "Nope, it's called the body flicker technique. I can teach you if you want." "Yeah, that would be cool." "Well, first you just need to gather your chakra into your legs, and then picture yourself standing in the place you want to be. It has a shorter range than my FTG, and you have to be able to see where you want to go. At first try to stay on level ground, but once you get better you can change elevations as well." Sasuke did what Naruto said and gathered some chakra into his legs and pictured himself on the other side of the road. Suddenly he found himself rushing through the air and straight at a tree. He crashed into the tree and fell over holding his head as he yelled, "OWW, damn it to hell," as Naruto walked up and said, "Sorry, I forgot to mention, you should practice without any obstacles nearby." Sasuke looked up at Naruto and said, "It's fine," as his Sharingan activated. "I'm gonna kick your ass, Naruto," as Naruto ran off with Sasuke in hot pursuit. Pretty soon they ended up back at the yard beside the academy panting and tired as Sasuke said, "I'm still gonna kick your ass," and Naruto said, "Okay fine, just don't make me move." They just sat there on the bench resting for a while until finally Akina came running out with a headband tied around her neck. "I did it! I did it! I passed! Thank you both so much for helping me." They both looked up her and smiled and said, "Congratulations, Akina." Inoichi was sitting behind the counter looking at a catalog when he heard the door open. He looked up and said, "Hi Naruto, how are you today?" "I'm doing fine, Inoichi-san, how are you?" "I'm fine, is there something you need?" Unbeknownst to Naruto, Ino was standing around the corner peeking at them. "He sure is sexy when he's scared. Don't be too mean to my Naruto-kun daddy." As she smiled. "Well, Inoichi-san, I was wondering if you mind if I take Ino out for dinner Saturday night?" "So you're asking me for my permission to let you take my little princess out on a date," said Inoichi with an evil grin. "Yes, sir." Give me a reason why I should let you." "Well, we have known each other for a long time, you and my father have been friends for years, and so have Ino and myself. I really care for her, and I promise to respect her, sir." "Ah, that's so sweet," thought Ino as she watched from the shadows. "Well then that's a good enough reason for me. But remember Naruto, I work in the torture and interrogation department, so it goes without saying that you better not hurt my little girl," said Inoichi with a wicked grin stretching from ear to ear. "You have my word as a ninja, sir. I will treat her like a princess and protect her with my life." "Good, that's exactly what I wanted to hear," said Inoichi as he smiled a normal smile and ruffled Naruto's hair. "So can you tell Ino-chan that I stopped by and said hi please?" "Well, that won't be necessary," said Inoichi as Ino stepped around the corner and smiled at Naruto. "Ino-chan, how long have you been there?" stuttered Naruto. Long enough, said Ino with her evil grin. Flashback to earlier today. Hey daddy, guess what? What is it, dear? Naruto-kun finally asked me out. Oh, he did he? Yep. I told him he had to come ask you for permission even though I knew what you would say, said Ino as she winked at him. Yeah, you know I can't say no to my little princess. So daddy, what are you gonna say to him? Let me worry about that princess, said Inoichi with an evil smirk. Don't be too mean to him, daddy. He's a really sweet boy. Okay, I won't be too mean to him. Thank you, daddy, said Ino as she hugged him. And flashback. Well, congratulations, you two. Just remember what I said, Naruto, said Inoichi as he aimed a little killing intent at Naruto and grinned when he shuddered. Ino, you can take the rest of the day off. I've got it under control here. Thanks, daddy, yelled Ino as she grabbed Naruto's hand and dragged him out the door. So where are we going, Ino-chan? Said Naruto as he tried to keep up with Ino. We have to go tell Shikamaru and Choji that we're a couple now, said Ino with a smile. Wow, a couple with Naruto-kun. Ino Namikaze. I like the sound of that, thought Ino. Okay, whatever you say, Ino-chan. Could we slow down a little though? Oh yeah, sure. Sorry, I was a little excited, said Ino as she blushed and Naruto's sweat dropped. The new couple then continued to walk towards the Nara compound holding hands. As they got there, Ino knocked on the door and a woman in her early 30s answered. Hello, Ino, Naruto. How are you two doing? We're fine, Yoshino. Is Shikamaru home? Sure, let me get him, said Yoshino. Shikamaru, you have company, she hollered up the stairs. They soon heard footsteps along with a grunt of troublesome and Shikamaru appeared at the door. Hey guys, what brings you here on this troublesome night? I got some great news, Shikamaru, said Ino. What? All Genin are going to get a mission to lay on the grass and watch clouds the first day, said Shikamaru as his eyes lit up and he began to daydream until Ino slapped him upside the head. No. I wanted to tell you that Naruto-kun asked me out today, said Ino with a smile. Naruto, you don't know what you've got yourself into. Women are so troublesome, said Shikamaru as both Ino and Yoshino smacked him in the head. Naruto laughed at Shikamaru's misfortune and said, I think I'll be alright. Ino-chan isn't too troublesome, said Naruto as he found himself laying on the ground beside Shikamaru with a foot on the side of his head. What was that, Naruto-kun? Asked Ino. Told you, said Shikamaru as he felt a foot land on his rib cage and Ino looked at him with fire in her eyes. Noon asked you, she yelled. Now where was I? Oh yeah, what was it you said, Naruto-kun? She said in a scary sweet voice. I said you're beautiful? Ah, thank you, said Ino as she stepped off of the boys and giggled. As Naruto and Shikamaru both stood up, Yoshino laughed at them and Ino said, come on Naruto-kun, we have to go tell Choji now. Actually, said Shikamaru, Choji and his dad are gone camping outside the village until Friday morning. A Kimichi rite of passage, you should know that, Ino. Oh yeah, I forgot. Well, we will just have to wait then. See ya later, Shikamaru, Yoshino. See ya, Shika, Yoshino-san, said Naruto as they turned to walk off. As soon as they were outside of the Nara compound, Naruto wrapped his arm around Ino's waist, and before she could say anything they disappeared in a flash of red light, and reappeared on a hill looking over the village. Wow, Naruto-kun, it's beautiful up here. Where are we? On top of the Hokage monument. Where my face will be in a few years, to be specific, said Naruto as he giggled. Wow, I've never been up here before. Yeah, not many people come here, but it has the best view in the village, and the sunset is absolutely stunning from up here. No kidding, but why did you bring me here? To see the sunset that I spoke about, said Naruto as he pulled out a scroll and unsealed a blanket. He spread the blanket out on the ground and motioned for Ino to sit down. She came over and he lowered her down and sat down beside her. I come up here a lot to relax after a hard day of training, said Naruto. It's just something about this place, I guess. Yeah, I see what you mean. I feel at ease here too. Of course, that may just be because I'm so close to you, Ino-chan. Yes, Naruto-kun, thank you for agreeing to go out with me. I've wanted to ask you for a while, but I was scared you didn't like me back. Thank you for asking me. I have been waiting forever, but I never wanted to say anything because, like you, I was scared you didn't like me like that. Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore, do we? Said Naruto as he wrapped his arm around her shoulders, and she laid her head down on his shoulder. Nope, said Ino with a big smile. As far as she was concerned, this was heaven. Friday morning, on top of the Hokage Tower. Congratulations, everyone. Today you will officially become ninja of Konoha. You have all demonstrated the skills necessary to be a genin and serve your village. As I call your name, please come get your ID card, said Minato, who was dressed in his Hokage robe and hat. Shino Aburame Shino walked up and got his ID card and said, thank you, Hokage-sama. As he bowed and returned to his seat, Minato continued on down the list until Naruto's name was called. Naruto Namikaze. Naruto got up and walked to the front where he bowed and then took his card. Thank you, Hokage-sama. It will be an honor to serve under you. He then turned and went back to his seat while Minato continued down the list. Once Minato finished, he had called out 32 names. He then said to everyone at once, congratulations once again on graduating and becoming genin. Now wait here and in a moment your Jounin sensei will come by and talk to you. A few minutes later, 13 people came out onto the roof with the genin and began to call out names. A beautiful younger lady who looked to be in her mid-20s stepped forward and called out Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame, and Kiba Inuzuka, please step forward. They did as instructed, and then the woman said, my name is Karina Yehi, and I will be the sensei of Team 8. Meet me at Training Ground 8 at 8 a.m. Monday. Next up was a man with a goatee who was smoking a cigarette and had a white sash with the kanji for fire around his waist and shoulders. Spoke up. Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akimichi, I am Asuma Sarutobi and I will be the sensei of Team 10. Meet me at Training Ground 10 at 8 a.m. Monday. A few more came and spoke to their team, and then Kakashi and Itachi stepped forward. Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto Namikaze, said Itachi. As you know, I am Kakashi Hatake and this is Itachi Uchiha. We will be the senseis of Team 7. What about the third member of our team? Asked Sasuke. The Hokage handpicked you two to be your own team. It is tradition to have 3 Genin and 1 Jounin, but we have 2 Genin and 2 Jounin to keep the 4-man squad, said Itachi. Any more questions? Okay then. Meet us at the Hokage Tower at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, said Kakashi as he and Itachi shunshined away. Finally the last one stepped forward. It was a young woman in her lower 20s who wore a short orange skirt, a fishnet bodysuit, and a tan trenchcoat. Sakura Haruno, Akina Kasuki, Seiko Takasu. My name is Anko Mitarashi. I'll be in charge of you maggots on Team 6. Meet me at 6 a.m. Monday morning at Training Ground 6. Everyone got up and started to leave, and Ino came over to Naruto and Sasuke to walk out with them. So Naruto-kun, why did you and Sasuke get put on a 2-man team? We were wondering ourselves actually, said Naruto. Even more curious is why we got the 2 strongest Jounin in the village as our senseis. Yeah, my brother and Kakashi are the strongest 2 in the village besides the Hokage and the 2 remaining Sannin. I guess we will find out tomorrow, said Naruto. Yeah, everyone else gets a break, but we have to be at the Hokage's office early in the morning. Bitching about it won't help anything, said Naruto as he grinned. Fuck you, said Sasuke as he grinned back. Well, I guess we should head out and enjoy our last day of freedom, said Naruto with a chuckle as he grabbed Ino and disappeared in a flash. They reappeared back in Naruto's living room and Ino said, no matter how many times you do that I never get used to it. I'm sorry, I can stop if it bothers you. No, it's not that, it's actually exhilarating, being that close to you and moving at the speed of light. Well then I'm glad you like cuddling so much, said Naruto with a wink. Ino smiled and said, so why are we here anyways, Naruto-kun? I had to get something from my room. I'll be right back, said Naruto as he ran upstairs and put on his coat and ran back down. There we go, much better. Wow, Naruto-kun, you look like a chibi 4th Hokage. Nope, I'm a little different. Gray with red flames, he said as he turned around to show the kanji and grinned, only to find himself smacked in the back of the head. Close enough, moron, screamed Ino. Hee, it's still different, Ino-chan, Naruto said as he winked at her. Anyways, how do I look? You look great, Naruto-kun, said Ino. Actually, you look damn sexy. I can't wait to tear you up. Though Ino as she grinned evilly. Thanks, Ino-chan, you look pretty damn good yourself, said Naruto as he walked up and kissed her on top of the head. As soon as he started to pull away, Ino said, oh no you don't, as she grabbed his head and pulled his lips against hers. He just stood there for a second confused, then he finally realized what she was doing and wrapped his arm around her waist and kissed back as they disappeared in a flash of red and reappeared on top of Hokage Mountain. Wow, Naruto-kun, that was amazing, said Ino as she pulled away for a breath. The two just stood there in each other's embrace looking out at the village for the longest. Finally Ino looked back at Naruto and kissed him again and said, Naruto-kun, I'm so happy. I'm glad that we are together. Me too, Ino-chan, said Naruto as he looked into her blue eyes with his own as he allowed his forehead to touch hers. They stood looking into each other's eyes for a minute before suddenly Naruto's eyes widened. Sorry, Ino-chan, my dad is calling, I have to go. He held on to her and flashed to the flower shop as he kissed her and said goodbye and then flashed away again to the Hokage's office. He appeared and saw Kakashi standing there beside him as Minato said, hello son, glad you could make it so fast. As soon as Sasuke and Itachi return, I'll explain. A few minutes later Itachi and Sasuke walked into the room and Minato said, okay Kakashi, Itachi, you already know some of the situation. You were scheduled to leave tomorrow on a mission to protect a bridge builder in Wave Country. But we've just received a report from a scout that some missing nin were spotted in the area, so we are going to send you out early. Naruto, Sasuke, the original mission was to protect a bridge builder from bandits and mercenaries as a C-rank mission, but it has now been upgraded to A rank, with the possibility of encountering Jounin-level ninja trying to attack him. Do you accept this mission? Yes, Hokage-sama, said both boys. Alright, meet us at the northern gate in 1 hour. Pack for a 1-month mission. Dismissed. Naruto handed Kakashi a seal tag and then grabbed Sasuke's shoulder and disappeared in a red flash. The two arrived at Sasuke's house and Naruto said, I'll be back in 30 minutes. As he disappeared again, he appeared back at his house and went to his room to pack his clothes, then down to the armory to get extra supplies, sealing all the spares into scrolls and putting the main supplies in his pack before teleporting back to Sasuke's house. Sasuke was just walking outside as Naruto grabbed him and teleported to the north gate with the seal tag he gave to Kakashi. Kakashi and Itachi were both already waiting there, and as soon as Naruto and Sasuke arrived they left out heading toward the Wave Country. So while other Genin teams get the weekend off and start D ranks Monday, we graduate and our first mission is an A rank on the same day. Is there something you guys aren't telling us? Said Sasuke. Well, I suppose we should just be honest. As you both know, you are far above Genin, or even Chunin level. The Hokage intended for you to go on a couple of C or B rank missions with us to get a feel of the outside world, and then you would be promoted to Chunin, and go a while longer to get the feel of leading missions, before going on to Jonin, said Kakashi. Don't we have to take the Chunin exams for that? Asked Naruto. Normally yes, but it is possible to receive a field promotion. Now, as Kakashi was saying, you were going to be promoted to Chunin in a couple of weeks. You would each then remain on this squad and lead a few missions each, with us making sure you do alright, and then you would be promoted to Jonin, said Itachi. So that's why we were put on this team. My dad intends for us to be Jonin before the rest of our class even takes their Chunin exams, said Naruto. Yes. You are both very skilled, almost clones of myself and Itachi at your age, said Kakashi. We are a team of prodigies, if you will. Kakashi is correct, you are both skilled enough to be Jonin. This team is just a formality really, and also just to be sure you are able to lead a team and make decisions under fire. Understood, said the boys. So how far are we from Wave? Asked Sasuke. We are about halfway there. We should go ahead and set up camp for tonight and arrive tomorrow afternoon, said Kakashi. The group stopped and found a clearing close to a nearby stream and set up their camp. Alright Naruto, you take first watch, Itachi second, Sasuke third, and I'll take the fourth, said Kakashi. Yes sir. They all chorused as all but Naruto went into their tent to get some rest. Back in Konoha. 3 hours ago, Ino sat on her bed wondering why Naruto had to run off so suddenly. Naruto, I sure hope everything is okay. Though Ino, suddenly she heard a knock on her door and yelled 1 minute. As she got up and went downstairs to answer the door. When she opened it, Naruto was standing there, and she wrapped him in a hug. Naruto, I was worried something was wrong. Actually Ino-chan, I am just a clone. My team was dispatched on an urgent mission to Wave Country. Naruto should return within the month. He told me to tell you that he is sorry for missing his date with you tomorrow, but that he will make it up when he returns. I know it doesn't mean the same since I am a clone, but he also said to give you this, said the clone as it leaned in and kissed Ino. And finally Naruto told me to tell you to be careful and that he loves you. Did he really say that? Said Ino. Well no, he didn't technically tell me to tell you, but I am him so I know that he does love you very much, said the clone with a wink. Ino kissed the clone again and said I love you too Naruto. Be safe please. And with that the clone dispelled itself. Ino went back to her room and sat on her bed and thought, I can't believe he said he loves me. We've only been a couple for a couple of days. He must have meant it when he said he liked me for a long time before he got the courage to ask me out. I love you Naruto, please come back safe. Naruto sat beside the fire on his watch shift. He had his clones stationed all around the camp so he didn't have to actively watch. As he sat there watching the fire he thought, I'm sorry I had to bail Ino-chan. I hope you will forgive me. I love you Ino-chan. Soon Itachi came out and took Naruto's place as Naruto went to rest. The next morning they woke up and ate a quick breakfast, and were on their way again. After a few minutes of running, Kakashi held up his hand and told everyone to stop. They all squatted on the side of the road looking for any sign of danger when suddenly 2 men bound together by a spiked chain rose out of a puddle of water. The demon brothers. To what do we owe the honor? Said Kakashi. We are here to keep you away from the bridge builder. Turn back now and you will be spared, said Gozu. Protecting the bridge builder is our mission. We will kill you if we have to in order to complete it, Kakashi said in a bored tone. Fine then, we'll do this the hard way, shouted Meizu as the two leapt towards Sasuke, who was the nearest to them. They didn't make it far before Meizu's right arm was blown off his body, revealing Naruto standing behind him with a lightning release Rasengan in hand. Meizu screamed in pain, before launching several kunai towards Naruto. Naruto dodged them with no problem before doing some hand seals. Fire release, fireball jutsu, he called out before blowing a medium-sized ball of fire toward Meizu. Meizu narrowly avoided the fireball before moving to launch himself back towards Naruto, but didn't make it 2 steps before he heard the sound of 1,000 birds chirping behind him. Before he could even react, Naruto's hand was stuck through what used to be his chest. Chidori, Naruto said as what was left of Meizu fell to the ground dead. While Naruto fought Meizu, Gozu rushed towards Sasuke with his clawed gauntlet ready to attack. Sasuke dodged the attack and jumped up and spun around, smashing his foot into Gozu's face and sending him into the ground hard. Kakashi and Itachi simply sat back and watched the fight boredly. After all, it was 2 Chunin-level missing Nin against 2 Jonin-level shinobi, no problems there. Gozu quickly climbed out of the crater his body had made and detached the chain from his gauntlet before throwing himself at Sasuke once again. Sasuke simply ducked under the swipe of the man's clawed hand before launching an uppercut into his stomach, knocking him up into the air. Just as Gozu reached his peak and began to fall again, Sasuke appeared above him and dropped an axe kick onto his face, shooting him back to the ground and knocking him unconscious. Well done, you two, Kakashi said as he walked over and hefted Gozu onto his shoulder before walking over and tying him to a tree. Itachi then walked up and punched him in the face to wake him up. Once he woke up, he spit at Itachi and said, "What the fuck do you want?" "I won't tell you shit, perhaps this will change your mind," Itachi said as he turned on his Mangekyo Sharingan and looked the man in the eyes as his body went limp. Gozu suddenly found himself in a world of black and white, with a strange red moon hovering in the sky. He was bound to a cross by barbed wire, looking down at Itachi. "My name is Itachi Uchiha. In this world I control everything: space, matter, even time. 3 days in here is only 1 second in the real world. If you do not tell me what I wish to know, then I will torture you for 3 days and 3 nights. As a sword appeared in his hand and he walked up and stabbed Gozu in his leg. He screamed out in pain and said, "Fuck off, I won't say anything." "Fine then, have it your way," said Itachi as he cut the man's limbs off one at a time before finally cutting his head off. Gozu's body then became whole again, and he was screaming in terror and pain. "Have you decided to talk yet?" "Never," said Gozu through gritted teeth. "As you wish," said Itachi as the sword changed into a kunai, and he began to peel Gozu's skin off, starting at his ankles and working his way up. Once he made it to the thigh, he put the kunai to Gozu's balls and said, "Last chance to talk, or I will skin your balls over and over again for 2 days and 20 hours. "Fuck you," Gozu whimpered as Itachi started cutting his balls up a little at a time. Gozu screamed in pain as Itachi continued. Once he finished, he stabbed the kunai in Gozu's eye, starting the whole cycle again. "Please God, no more. What do you want to know?" Gozu said. "Who sent you here?" said Itachi. "A businessman named Gato. He says that this bridge will hurt his business interests in Wave Country, so he wants the bridge builder dead," said the now crying Gozu. "Where can I find this Gato?" "He has a base just west of town, heavily guarded by mercenaries. The only other ninja he has are Zabuza Momoichi and a girl named Haku, an Ice-style Kekai Genkai user." "Very well then," said Itachi as the world around him disappeared and he was back in the real world. "We have all we need." "Sasuke, kill him," said Itachi as Sasuke stabbed Gozu in the eye with a kunai and killed him. "So Itachi, what did you figure out?" said Kakashi. "He was hired by a man named Gato, who has a base a couple miles west of Wave Country. Gato has also hired Zabuza Momoichi, and an Ice-style user named Haku." "Zabuza, the demon of the mist? Sounds like a good test for our students, doesn't it, Itachi?" said Kakashi as he gave an eye smile. "Indeed it does. Let's move out again before our client winds up dead." "Naruto, did you get the head of your kill?" "No, why would I take his head? In order to claim the bounty, you must return proof that you killed the ninja. Seal this one's head and some of the ashes of the other into a scroll and let's move." "Yes, sir." Naruto proceeded to cut off the head of the demon brother tied to the tree and gather the head of the one he disintegrated and sealed them into a scroll which he put in his pocket. When he was done, they started moving towards the Wave Country again. Once they arrived to the border, they found the man they were looking for waiting for them at a boat dock. He was an elderly man with glasses and a pointy straw hat, and he smelled like alcohol. They walked up to him, and he said, "I thought I hired ninja for this mission, not a bunch of kids. The black-haired one looks like a damn emo, and the blonde looks like a fucking hyperactive retard," causing both Naruto and Sasuke to growl in anger. "I assure you, Tsunade-san, we are the best team possible for this mission," Kakashi replied coolly, trying to defuse the situation. "Could have fooled me," mumbled Tsunade as the group got on a boat to travel to the island where Tsunade lived. Once they arrived, he started leading them to his house to unpack. About halfway there, out of the blue, Kakashi yelled, "Get down!" and everyone hit the deck, with Naruto tackling Tsunade as a large sword whizzed over their head and stuck into the wall of the bridge. A large man about 6 feet 6 inches with no shirt and striped pants along with a mask over his face similar to Kakashi's landed on top of the sword and looked at the group. "Zabuza Momoichi, the demon of the mist," said Kakashi. "I see you've heard of me then, copy ninja Kakashi. You've also got the Uchiha prodigy Itachi with you. Who are the brats? That is none of your concern, Zabuza. We are here to protect Tsunade and we will not fail," said Itachi. "So Zabuza, where is your partner at anyways?" said Kakashi. "She is around." "That is all you need to know." "Well, I take it you won't give up and leave?" said Kakashi as he raised his headband to reveal his Sharingan. "You're smarter than you look, Kakashi," said Zabuza as he jumped to the ground and did a set of hand seals. Hiding in the mist technique. The last thing the group saw was Zabuza grab his sword and disappear into the mist. 8 places on the human body that cause instant death. The larynx, spine, lungs, liver, jugular, subclavian artery, kidneys, and heart. Which will it be? Came Zabuza's voice from seemingly everywhere within the mist. "Everyone be alert, he is a master of the silent killing technique," Kakashi said as the group made a circle around Tsunade. "How right you are, Kakashi," whispered a voice in Kakashi's ear from behind. Kakashi quickly spun around and buried a kunai into Zabuza's gut as the man let out a moan of pain, and then turned into a splash of water. "Damn, a water clone," Kakashi thought as he continually scanned the area for Zabuza. Soon there was a sound of metal hitting metal to Kakashi's right, and he turned to see Naruto parrying Zabuza's large sword with a kunai. "Quite impressive. You are obviously no ordinary genin, Zabuza said as he broke the contact, leaping back into the mist with Naruto following after him. Naruto, no! Kakashi yelled to no avail. Just as Naruto was about to disappear into the mist, Zabuza appeared behind him, swinging his Zanbato in a sideways arc. Naruto never noticed him there before the sword sliced through him, cleaving him in two, before he disappeared in a poof of smoke. Shit! Zabuza cursed as he heard a whistling sound from behind him. He quickly turned to dodge, but didn't get away completely as the attack brushed past his arm, causing several cuts to appear on the arm before blowing him several feet away. Futon, Rasengan, Naruto said as the attack did what damage it could before he leapt back into formation with his team. Impressive, Naruto, you managed to land a blow on an A-rank missing nin, Kakashi complimented as Naruto returned. Thanks, Kakashi-sensei, Naruto said as Zabuza made another appearance in front of them, this time with his left arm hanging numbly at his side. Well, Zabuza, you are in no shape to fight. I suggest you leave the bridge builder alone and leave. Not gonna happen, Zabuza said as he leapt at the group once more with Kubikaribika poised to attack. He made it close and swung down trying to cleave Kakashi in half, only to be blocked by Itachi. You are quite a nuisance, demon of the mist. You had your opportunity to leave, it ends now, Itachi said before kicking Zabuza away and doing hand seals faster than the eye could follow. Water release, water dragon bullet, Itachi said as the mist in the air condensed into a massive water dragon and crashed into Zabuza, knocking him into a nearby tree and into unconsciousness. As the group walked towards Zabuza to finish the job, a Kiri hunter nin dropped from the trees next to Zabuza. Thank you for helping me capture this one. I've been after him for some time now, the hunter nin said in a feminine voice. It's no problem, Hunter-san. Would you like for us to kill him and destroy the body now? Kakashi replied, knowing that this hunter nin was Zabuza's partner. No thank you, Konoha-san. I will dispose of him later, replied the hunter nin, right before having to dodge a kunai. She wasn't fast enough, however, to deflect the one that embedded in Zabuza's chest. Soon the sounds of 1,000 birds chirping filled the air and Haku turned to see Kakashi speeding towards them, Chidori in hand. She moved as fast as she could to Zabuza and grabbed him before shunshining away just as Kakashi passed through the spot they were in. Damn, I wasn't quick enough, Kakashi said as he turned back to the group. I'm sure you all know that Zabuza isn't dead. Judging by his injuries, he will be back to try again within a week, he said, earning 3 nods in the affirmative. After the fight, the group remained with Tsunade on the bridge for the rest of the day, before returning to his house for the night. The next 4 days went without incident. Sasuke and Itachi watched Tsunade for the first half while Naruto and Kakashi trained, and then they swapped for the second half of the day. On the 5th day, when Itachi and Sasuke arrived at the bridge, they were shocked to see a thick mist blanketing the entire bridge, with all of the workers lying on the ground, seemingly dead. Itachi quickly created a shadow clone and sent it back towards Tsunade's house to retrieve Naruto and Kakashi while himself and Sasuke got into a defensive position around Tsunade. The bridge is being attacked. Itachi requests you two come immediately, said Itachi's clone as it dropped into the clearing beside Tsunade's house with Kakashi and Naruto. Alright, we'll be there in a minute, Kakashi said as the clone dispelled. Leave my mom alone, you big jerk, a young child's voice hollered out from near the house. Shit! Naruto, go on to the bridge with Itachi. I'll meet you there in a bit, Kakashi commanded before shunshining back to the house to find 2 thugs, one holding Tsunade, and the other moving towards Inari. I swear to God I'll bite my tongue off and drown on my blood if you touch my son, screamed Tsunade, as the thug moved closer to Inari. I advise you to let her go, Kakashi said flatly, while producing a ton of killing intent. The thug that held onto Tsunade promptly pissed himself and passed out from the feel of the killing intent. The second thug froze in place but managed to remain conscious, though he figured out quickly that that wasn't necessarily a good thing as Kakashi appeared in front of him and buried a kunai up to the hilt in his forehead, before ripping it back out and throwing it into the one who passed out. Thank you for saving us, Kakashi-san, Tsunade yelled as she ran up and kissed Kakashi on the cheek. Well, more like the mask where his cheek should be, but it got the point across. It's no problem, Tsunade-san, but I must be going now, Kakashi said as he shunshined away. Naruto instantly disappeared from the clearing in a flash of red light, before reappearing next to Sasuke, in what appeared to be dome of ice mirrors. Sasuke looked kind of beat up, but had no real injuries. Haku was nowhere to be seen. What's going on? Naruto asked, looking around for his opponent. She teleports between these mirrors at insane speeds. I can't even track her with my Sharingan. She's so fast I haven't been able to land a single hit, and I couldn't get out. I see, Naruto said as he pulled a 3-pronged kunai out and threw it outside of the mirrors. Just then, Haku appeared in all of the mirrors at once. Yes, it's true, in here. I am nigh invincible. Now you are trapped in here with him, she said as she threw a flurry of saban needles at the duo. I don't think so, Naruto said as he put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder and disappeared in a flash of red. How did you escape? I don't have to explain myself to a puppet. Prepare to die, Naruto replied. I cannot die here. I will kill you if I must, but I will protect Zabuza-sama. I doubt it. We have a mission to complete, and you stand in our way, Naruto said. A Rasen Raikurai formed in his right hand, before it was thrown at Haku's ice mirror. Fool, nothing can break my ice mirrors, Haku said just before the attack hit. She was right, it didn't break the mirror, it dissolved it. She barely escaped in time. How? Her reply was a Naruto clone dropping out of nowhere and dropping an axe kick on her neck, before twisting his body and kicking her once more, sending her flying towards Naruto and Sasuke. Sasuke quickly went through some hand seals and called out fire release, Grand Fireball Jutsu, before exhaling a large ball of fire that washed over Haku for several seconds before dispelling, leaving a burnt and bloodied girl on the ground in front of the pair. Zabuza quickly charged in Itachi, sword drawn back ready to attack. You'll pay for what you did to me before, he yelled as he slashed towards Itachi. Itachi simply parried with a kunai before leaping back to put distance between them. As soon as Itachi moved, Zabuza started doing hand seals, which Itachi was copying with his Sharingan. They finished at the same time and both called out water release, Water Dragon Missile Jutsu, as two massive dragons rose from the water below the bridge and began to battle it out above them. How did you copy your jutsu? Zabuza began but was cut off by Itachi. My eyes can see everything, Itachi answered. Zabuza answered in the form of charging back in and swinging down at Itachi. The two had a kenjutsu battle for a moment before Zabuza broke away and began hand seals once again, with Itachi copying them. How can you copy my jutsu before I do it? Zabuza yelled, getting distracted and stopping the hand seals while Itachi continued. Can you see the future? Yes, I can, Itachi said as he finished the seals water release, water bullets. Itachi then spat out a medium-sized ball of water that hit the distracted Zabuza, knocking him backwards. And your future is death. Kakashi's voice rang out amongst the sound of 1,000 birds chirping as he drove a Chidori through Zabuza's chest. But Zabuza turned slightly as the last moment, making the attack miss his heart. Sorry I'm late, I got lost on the… Shut the fuck up. Itachi cut him off with a chuckle as Kakashi dropped Zabuza's body to the ground. Haku soon woke up, and turned to leave as she said Zabuza-sama no. She only made it a few feet before Naruto appeared in front of her, wind-release Rasengan in hand, and thrust it through her chest. Zabuza-sama, I'm sorry I failed you, Haku said as the life left her body. Kakashi and Itachi began to walk over to check on Naruto and Sasuke, when they felt a spike of chakra behind them. They turned quickly to see Zabuza standing up, with a hole through the right side of his chest. Where's Haku? He growled out. The hunter Nin? I assume she's dead by now, Kakashi said nonchalantly. Bastards. I'll kill you both. Zabuza roared as he made to run at Kakashi and Itachi. Wind release, Rasen Shuriken. Came Naruto's voice from behind them, barely heard over the bell-like screech in the air as a large chakra shuriken flew by them and crashed into Zabuza. After the attack hit, it curved upwards and carried Zabuza 15 feet into the air before expanding in a blinding flash of light as it destroyed Zabuza's chakra network. When the light faded away, Zabuza fell back to the ground, not moving but still alive. What the fuck did you to me, you little shit? Screamed Zabuza. Simple. I destroyed your entire chakra network. You're as good as dead. Bullshit. No attack can do that. Mine just did. Damn. He's right. It's completely shredded. There's nothing left of his chakra coils and tenketsu, said Itachi, who looked at it with his Sharingan. Fuck you. Just kill me and get it over with already. Alright then, as you wish, said Naruto as he hefted Zabuza's sword off the ground and cleaved his head off. After Zabuza was dead, Naruto took out a scroll and sealed Zabuza's sword into it. Spoils of war, he said with a big grin. Damn Naruto, you've been holding back on us, haven't you? Said Kakashi. Yeah, I can't use most of my better attacks in spars because they are too dangerous, so I've seen. Well, all that's left now is to assassinate Gato. Let's go back to Tsunade's and rest, and we will worry about Gato in the morning, said Kakashi. Tsunade walked up and said, yeah, I can agree with that. I am tired just from watching that. Right. Let's go on back then, said Itachi. So they all left out for Tsunade's house to rest up for the night. Everyone went to bed since they agreed that the main threat was neutralized. The next morning they got up and discussed the plan for Gato's assassination over breakfast. Did you say you're going to kill Gato? You're all crazy. No one can beat him, he killed my father, said a young Inari who just had walked down the stairs. Now Inari, calm down, these guys are here to help us, replied Tsunami. No mom, they are all fools and they're going to die just like daddy, said Inari as he ran back up the stairs. I'm sorry about Inari, everyone. He's still hurt because Gato had my husband publicly executed for standing up against him, said Tsunami with a frown on her face. It's fine, I can understand his pain. I lost my father when I was his age, and I turned bitter to the world for a long time. It'll pass eventually, said Kakashi. How about I go talk to him and see if I can help? If you want, I'd really appreciate it, said Tsunami, her frown lessening a bit. Kakashi walked up the stairs to Inari's room and knocked on the door. Go away, yelled Inari. Hey, can we talk for a minute, Inari? No, I don't want to talk. Go away. Come on, Inari, it will make you feel better. I know what you are going through. I lost my father when I was just a bit younger than you are. Kakashi heard Inari get up and walk towards the door. He opened the door and said, come on in. Kakashi walked in and sat down on the edge of Inari's bed and said, look, I understand your pain, Inari. My father died when I was 8 years old. I was like you, mad at the world, and I tried to blame everyone around me for what happened. It took me losing my best friend in combat to realize I was wrong. I was angry, and one day I got in an argument over something that my dad once said, and later that very day my team was ambushed and my friend was killed. With his dying breaths we made up, and it made me realize that I was wrong for acting the way I was towards everyone. Inari, I don't want you to be like me. You don't need to lose a close friend to realize you're wrong about this. Believe me when I tell you that my team is made up of the 4 strongest people in our village besides our Hokage. We will kill Gato and avenge your father's death. Inari had started to cry by this point, and Kakashi patted him on the shoulder. You're right, I have been acting like a big baby over all of this, and it was stupid. I'm sorry for yelling at all of you earlier. Don't worry about it, Inari. Like I said earlier, you were just confused. I'm glad we had a chance to talk to help you get over it instead of a tragedy happening. Thanks, mister. It really did help me. You're welcome. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got an appointment with Gato. Kakashi walked back downstairs where everyone was sitting and waiting on him. Are you all ready? Everyone nodded and Kakashi said, alright then, let's move out. As they all got up and left the house, once outside the house they started heading west until they could see Gato's mansion in the distance, and they stopped. So how are we gonna do this? Asked Sasuke. Leave no survivors, and don't die. I'll come in from the west side, Itachi from the north, Naruto from the south, and you from the east. Kill all of his men you cross, just watch out for friendlies once you get closer to the center. Everyone get into position, and I'll signal via radio when it's time to attack. Yes, sir. Said everyone at once as they ran off to get into position. Soon Kakashi came over and said, everyone ready? Naruto, Itachi, Sasuke, okay then, give 'em hell. Kakashi said as an explosion ripped over the western end of the compound. Naruto quickly ran through some hand seals as he said wind style, Wind Dragon Missile Jutsu. As a large tornado formed and took the shape of a dragon that started raging through the compound. At the north side Itachi did his own hand seals and said fire style, Fire Dragon Jutsu. As he spat out a large column of fire that shaped into a dragon and started crashing into the building, causing it to catch fire. On the east end Sasuke made his own fire dragon that started ripping through the building. Back on the west side Kakashi had blown the wall down and was now cutting men down left and right with his Chidori. On the south with Naruto, he bit his thumb and ran through some hand seals, then slammed his palm on the ground as he rose 4 stories in the air in a cloud of smoke. Hello Bunta. Mind helping to destroy this sick bastard? The new summoner, this is our first meeting. I will help you, but know this. I don't enjoy being summoned for trivial bullshit, unless it is to have drinks. This instance is okay, I shall have fun. Naruto tapped his radio and said everyone clear the building, it's about to come down. Kakashi clear, Sasuke out, Itachi is clear, Bunta, give 'em hell. Naruto shouted as Gamabunta started hopping around smashing man and building alike and slashing into the buildings with his tanto. Naruto ran through a set of hand seals as a Raisin Raikurai formed in each hand and he said Raisin Raikurai Barrage. As he fired off one after another, vaporizing all in their path. In 5 minutes flat, Team Prodigy completely leveled Gato's mansion. They all met in the middle of the rubbish and fanned out to search for Gato's body and finish any stragglers. After a few minutes of searching past Kakashi came over the radio and said I've got confirmation here. As he flared his chakra so the others could find him. They all converged on Gato's body, lying under his desk dead from apparent smoke inhalation. They cut his head off and sealed it into the scroll with all of the other kills, and gathered all of the other bodies and brought them to the middle of the field behind the mansion, and burned them. Itachi managed to find Gato's bank book, and used his Sharingan to copy the handwriting and transferred all of his funds to Konoha. They went back to Tsunade's house and spent the next 2 days simply watching him build the bridge with no interruptions. Once he was done everyone said their goodbyes and Team Prodigy left bound for the Leaf Village. 2 days later they arrived home in Konoha and headed to the Hokage's office for their debriefing. Kakashi knocked on the door and Minato said enter as the team walked in and bowed to him. Report. Said Minato. Sir, on the way to Wave, we encountered the Demon Brothers, and Naruto quickly dispatched one while Sasuke took out the other, whom we interrogated to find out about the man behind all of this, Gato. We discovered that he had hired Zabuza Momoichi as well as another missing nin named Haku, who was an ice-style user. Myself and Itachi battled Zabuza while Naruto and Sasuke killed Haku, though Naruto actually landed the killing blow on both Zabuza and Haku. Afterwards we took the next day off, and then the following day we attacked Gato's compound and killed him and all of his men. Itachi took Gato's bank book and transferred all of Gato's funds to Konoha's account. Good. Do any of you have anything to add? Said Minato as everyone nodded their head no. Okay then, congratulations on a job well done. From what I've heard, Kakashi, Itachi, would you recommend your students for promotion to Chunin? Yes sir, they both exhibited the qualities expected of a Chunin. Said Kakashi as Itachi just nodded. Well then Naruto, Sasuke, congratulations on your promotion. Said Minato as he handed each of them a green vest. Thank you Hokage-sama. Said both boys as they bowed. By the way, here is your mission, pay everyone. Said Minato as he handed them each an envelope. Actually Dad, we also have 3, possibly 4 or 5 bounties to collect. said Naruto as he pulled out his scroll and unsealed the remains of the demon brothers, Haku, Zabuza, and Gato. We know that there was a bounty on the demon brothers and Zabuza but are unsure of Haku and Gato. Minato picked up a bingo book and flipped through it, and said yes, there is a bounty on Gato, but no listing for Haku. I will send off for the bounties and have them deposited to your account as soon as the return. No, Dad, don't give it all to me, this is a team effort, so we should split the money between us. Okay, that's very noble of you, son. I will take care of dividing the money and hand it out when it arrives. Thank you all, you are dismissed. They all left out of the office and Naruto teleported home to take a bath before teleporting to Ino's house where he knocked on the door. Ino answered the door, and when she seen it was his, she tackled him into the street and hugged him tightly. I was so worried, Naruto-kun. I'm sorry, Ino-chan, it was an urgent assignment that had to be moved up in order to ensure success. I'm sorry that I had to miss our date though, he said as he leaned up and kissed her. Don't worry, Naruto-kun. We can make it up some other time. I love you too, Ino-chan. Flashback 4 years ago. Minato, we must take immediate action against them now in order to ensure the safety of our village, said the man with tape over one of his eyes. What reason do you have to believe that they are up to anything? Said Minato. My root agents have been investigating. Last night they discovered this, said the one-eyed man as he handed Minato a scroll. Minato read the scroll to himself. Top secret mission order for Agent Raven. You are hereby ordered to assassinate the 4th Hokage within the week. If you are caught, we will deny all evidence of our involvement in the matter. This is not an optional mission, it is what is best for the village. Destroy this message immediately. I find this hard to believe. I know Itachi well. If he was a traitor, he wouldn't be caught. Danzo obviously forged this letter, but what could he gain by turning me against the Uchiha? I see. I will look into this further, but no action is to be taken as of now, said Minato. You fool, do you not see what is going on here? Yelled Danzo as he slammed his fist on the desk. Damn it, I'm in charge here and you will not act out like that again in my presence, yelled Minato as he jumped up, throwing his chair back into the wall. There will be an investigation into the matter. Until that time there shall be no actions taken. Do you understand me? You are blind to the... I said, do you understand me? Yelled Minato as he directed all of his killing intent at Danzo. Yes, Hokage-sama, spat Danzo as he turned to leave. Once Danzo was gone, 2 figures stepped from the shadows. Itachi, Kakashi, I want 3 teams of A and BU on guard around the Uchiha compound at all times until I say otherwise. Be sure not to alert the rest of your clan, we don't need them to panic and worsen the situation. This is a SS class secret. Tell only those who need to know and be sure to swear them to secrecy. You have your orders, dismissed, said Minato as the 2 A and BU shunshined away. The next morning, report, said Minato with a look of anger on his face. Sir, these 2 men were found attempting to sneak into the Uchiha compound last night. We tried to apprehend them alive but they committed suicide after being captured. That is fine. Take them to the morgue and fetch Danzo for me. Yes, sir, said an A and BU as his team grabbed 2 bodies off the ground and shunshined away. Minato returned to his desk and started to look over his reports and what knowledge he had en route. A short while later there was a knock on the door. Enter. You wanted to see me, Hokage? Said Danzo. Yes, Danzo. You violated my direct orders last night by attacking the Uchiha compound. You have left me no choice. You are hereby stripped of all powers. I demand that Root be disbanded immediately. If you are found continuing the operation of Root, you will be executed immediately. You can't do this to me. Without my Root this village will fall, screamed Danzo. I can and did, Danzo. I meant what I said. Root is done. Leave my sight now. You wait and see, Minato. This village cannot last without me, said Danzo as 2 A and BU appeared and drug him out the door. Present day. You say we'll make it up, huh? Said Naruto with an evil grin. Of course, Naruto-kun, said Ino in her sexy voice as she winked at him. I like the way that sounds. But we can save it for later, said Naruto as he winked back. How about some dinner for now? That sounds fine with me. Let's go, said Ino as she grabbed Naruto's hand and drug him away. A few minutes later they appeared in a small restaurant. A waitress came over to the table to take their order shortly after. I'll have a miso ramen, please, said Naruto. Just a small salad for me, said Ino as the waitress walked off. You know, Ino, as a ninja, you're not eating enough calories. You have to eat better where you'll have more energy for training and missions. But Naruto, I've got to watch my figure. A body doesn't look this good on its own, she said as she waved over herself. Ino, you don't have to worry so much about that. You need to eat healthier. I don't care if you gain a few pounds, I would love you anyways. Do you really mean that, Naruto-kun? Of course I do, Ino-chan. I love you for you, not your looks. Of course, being smoking hot is kinda nice, Naruto added to himself. Naruto-kun, that's the sweetest thing anyone has ever said to me, said Ino as she leaned across the table and kissed him on the cheek. After a few minutes their food came and Ino started eating her salad. Naruto just sat there watching her, thinking about how beautiful she is. Once she finished the salad, Naruto pushed his order to her side of the table and said, Here, Ino-chan, eat up. But that's your food, Naruto-kun? I'll be fine. I know you must be starving though after a diet like you have been on. No, Naruto-kun, I can't eat your food. I'll just start eating healthy tomorrow. Ino-chan, I promise I'm fine. Here, he said as he got a spoonful and started moving it towards her mouth. Ino hesitated for a moment before she finally let him feed it to her. After tasting the real food for the first time in God knows how long, her eyes went wide and she practically inhaled the rest of the ramen before she realized what she had just done. She looked at Naruto and said, "Oh my god, Naruto-kun, I'm so sorry, you must think I'm a pig," as tears began to form in her eyes. Naruto just reached across the table and laid his hands on top of hers and smiled as he said, "Don't worry about it, Ino-chan. Like I said, I'll love you no matter what." Ino just looked up at Naruto and smiled. Naruto pulled out some money and laid it down on the table as Ino started to stand up. Naruto just looked at her and grinned as they disappeared and reappeared on top of empty Hokage. He once again pulled out a scroll and unsealed a blanket from it. He spread the blanket on the ground and sat down as he motioned Ino to join him. She complied and walked over and sat between his legs and leaned back against his chest. Naruto wrapped his arms around Ino's waist and laid his chin on her shoulder. The couple sat there and watched the sun set and just talked and laughed for the longest before Naruto said, "Well, it's getting late. I'd better get you home before your dad kills me." They stood up and sealed the blanket back up as Naruto grabbed Ino's waist, and in a flash of red they were gone. They reappeared in the street in front of Ino's house, and they kissed once more before Naruto started walking off towards his house. Naruto was walking along taking his time, and enjoying the nice night when he noticed someone was following him. He calmly reached into his coat, and grabbed one of his tri-pronged kunai as he kept walking along, pretending he didn't notice. After a few more blocks his shadow got a little closer to him, and he turned around to confront them. "Why are you following me?" he said. "I came to ask if you wanted to go out on a date with me sometime," said a feminine voice that Naruto vaguely recognized. "And just who are you?" "My name is Hinata Hyuga," stated the voice as she stepped out of the shadows. "Well, Hinata, in case you didn't know, I'm dating Ino-chan, and I am quite happy with her. And for future reference, I wouldn't follow people." "I almost killed you just now," said Naruto as he held up his kunai. "Sorry about following you. I was just waiting until we made it away from Ino's house. So you know about me and Ino-chan, yet you still ask me out?" "Yes, I love you, Naruto-kun." "Well, I'm sorry, Hinata, I love Ino-chan." "No! What does she have that I don't?" "It isn't about what either of you have or don't have. I just love her, and that isn't going to change." "Oh really?" said Hinata in a sexy voice as she walked a little closer, revealing that she was wearing a low-cut shirt which showed off a lot of cleavage. "Like what you see, Naruto-kun." As she continued getting closer to him. "Hinata, stop this, I told you, I love Ino," said Naruto. "Well, let's just see if I can change that then," she said as she got within a couple of feet of him and reached out to rub his chest. "Nothing will change my mind, Hinata, you might as well stop this," said Naruto as he started to back away. "Come on, Naruto-kun, at least give me a chance, please," she said as she wrapped her arms around his waist and pulled him in tight, rubbing her chest against his. "Hinata, I'm not going to say it again. I love Ino. Nothing you say or do will change that," he said as he pushed her off of him. "Now please leave me alone." Naruto turned and continued his walk home as Hinata stood there with tears forming in her eyes. "If I can't have Naruto-kun, no one can. You better watch your back, bitch," thought Hinata as she turned back towards Ino's house with her Byakugan active. The rest of Naruto's trip was uneventful. He made it home and grabbed a snack out of the fridge before heading upstairs to bed. The next day when he woke up he showered and headed down for breakfast just like any normal morning. He had the day off, so after he ate breakfast he headed over to Sasuke's house to see if he was busy. As he walked up to the gates of the Uchiha compound he was greeted by two guards in Konoha tuning gear. "Hello Naruto-san, how are you today?" "I'm fine. Is Sasuke around today?" "Actually Naruto-san, I think he is out training with Itachi-sama today." "Is it something important?" "No, it's nothing. Thank you," said Naruto as he bowed and walked off. "Well, Ino is with her team, Sasuke is busy with Itachi, and I have nothing to do today. Maybe I can find someone who can teach me to use Zabuza's sword. But who do I know that is good at kenjutsu?" Naruto continued walking down the street trying to think of someone who could teach him kenjutsu when he suddenly heard YOSH. "Your flames of youth burn as bright as ever, Lee." As he stopped and looked over to the training ground where the noise came from to see a tall man with green tights, a jounin vest and a bowl haircut crying anime tears while another smaller version of himself without the vest was doing one-armed push-ups. A younger man in a white jacket with black shorts and long black hair, as well as a younger-looking girl with a white Chinese-style shirt and brown pants, with two buns in her hair stood nearby watching. "If I cannot do 500 one-armed push-ups, I will do 1,000 squat thrusts. If I cannot do that, I will run around Konoha 500 times on my hands. If I cannot do that," said the smaller green-clad ninja as the girl with the buns punched him in the back of the head. About that time the jounin noticed Naruto standing there. We have a spectator. The youthful son of our youthful Hokage is watching our progress. How are you today, Naruto-kun?" Naruto started walking towards them as he said, "I'm doing fine, I'm sorry. I didn't get your name." "YOSH. I'm a might guy," the beautiful blue beast of Konoha. And these are my youthful students, Niji, Tenten, and Rock Lee. Nice to meet all of you. I am Naruto Namikaze," said Naruto as he bowed to them. "Hello Naruto-san, I am Niji Hyuga. Rock Lee here. I intend to become a great ninja even though I cannot use Gen or ninjutsu. Hello Naruto. I'm Tenten, the weapons mistress of Konoha in training." "So Naruto-kun, I thought you just became a genin a couple of weeks ago," said Guy. "Yeah, I graduated not too long ago. Why? If you are a rookie genin, then why do you wear the vest of a chunin? They promoted me and Sasuke a couple days ago." "Yosh. Lee." His flames of youth burned brightly. "He is but a rookie and made chunin already." "Yes, Gi-sensei. I must fight hard to become a chunin quickly as well." "Lee, Gi-sensei, Lee, Gi-sensei, Lee, Gi-sensei." Naruto leaned over to Tenten and said, "Does this happen often?" "Unfortunately," said Tenten as she sighed. "I'm so sorry. You get used to it after a while." "I don't know about that. Anyways, I've got to run. Nice meeting all you," said Naruto as he turned to leave. "Yosh. Naruto-san. You must spar with me to see whose flames of youth burn brighter," yelled Lee. "Okay, I guess I can do that," said Naruto as he turned back to Lee and walked to the middle of the field. "Ready?" said Naruto as he dropped into a ready stance. "Go!" yelled Lee as he charged forward with incredible speed. Naruto wasn't expecting Lee to be so fast and as such didn't get his guard up in time, and Lee landed a kick to the side of Naruto's head, sending him flying. Naruto righted himself in midair and landed on his feet just in time to duck under a punch. Lee launched an all-out barrage against Naruto with punches and kicks, putting him on the defensive. Naruto dodged blow after blow until finally Lee left an opening and Naruto kicked low. Lee jumped over the kick and did his own spin kick which connected with Naruto's ribcage, sending him flying again. Naruto righted himself in the air again as he went through some hand seals and said, "Wind style, great breakthrough," as a wall of wind slammed into Lee, stopping his new charge. Lee landed on his feet and resumed his ready stance as Naruto went through another set of hand seals and said, "Water style, water bullet jutsu," as he started spitting out several balls of water, which Lee dodged with ease as he charged at Naruto again. As Lee began his charge, Naruto pulled out a kunai and threw it at Lee. Lee sidestepped the kunai as Naruto disappeared in flash of red. Before Lee knew what happened, he heard water style, water prison jutsu, come from behind him as he was immobilized in a large ball of water. "Good fight, Lee," said Naruto. "Yosh. Naruto wins," yelled Guy. "Good job, Naruto-kun. From this moment forward you shall be my eternal rival. I shall one day prove that my flames of youth burn brighter than yours," yelled Lee as he dropped to push-up position. "As my punishment for losing, I shall do 1,000 push-ups. If I cannot do 1,000 push-ups, I will run," said Lee as Naruto turned to the rest of the team. "Well guys, thanks for having me, I'm headed on further. Squat thrusts, I will do," continued Lee until Tenten punched him again. "See ya around, Naruto," said Tenten as Naruto walked off. "Well, I didn't find a teacher, but at least I met some new people and burned some time. I guess I'll just head home and train a little bit." Naruto disappeared in a red flash and reappeared in his living room, where Jiraiya and Tsunade were sitting on the couch playing chess together. He started to walk off when Jiraiya said, "Hold up, Naruto, I need to talk to you." "Checkmate," as he moved one more piece. Tsunade jumped up and yelled, "Damn it, I never win anything," as she smashed the chessboard and table into the floor. Jiraiya and Naruto both sweat dropped a little bit and scurried off to the backyard as Tsunade sat back down on the couch and pouted. Once they got out back, Jiraiya said, "So Naruto, have you spoken with Gamabunta yet?" "Well, I spoke to him briefly on my last mission. I summoned him to help destroy Gato's compound." "Why?" "Usually when someone signs a summon contract they are required to speak with the head summon beforehand. However, in your case, Bunta allowed us to sign you and said you could talk later. Why don't you summon him so you two can have his talk?" "What talk?" "Like I said, he just needs to get to know you and you can become familiar with him. It seemed like Kichi took a liking to you so you could summon him too." "Alright then," said Naruto as he bit his thumb and ran those some hand seals as he smacked his hand against the ground. Summoning jutsu. As he finished, a large cloud of smoke appeared and Gamabunta and Gamakichi, as well as another toad about Kichi's size, but yellow, stepped out of the smoke. "Hello Jiraiya, Naruto," said Bunta. "Hey bro," said Kichi as he jumped on top of Naruto's head. "Hi guys," said the yellow toad. "Hey everyone," said both Naruto and Jiraiya. "Sorry I haven't met you yet, what's your name?" said Naruto to the yellow toad. "I'm Gamatatsu, nice to meet you Naruto. Have you by chance got any candy?" said Gamatatsu as everyone else sweat dropped. It has been nearly 1 month since Naruto had his talk with Gamabunta. During this time Naruto has did a few more missions, with Sasuke and himself taking turns as the team leader. He also continued seeing Ino, as well as training during his free time. He has become good friends with Gamakichi, who rarely goes home anymore. "Is that all you got? Come on, I could beat you in my sleep," said Jiraiya as he dodged a kick from Naruto before kicking him into a tree. Naruto stood back up and ran at Jiraiya, who kicked at Naruto again. However, this time Naruto ducked under the kick and went in for an uppercut to Jiraiya's jaw. Jiraiya simply leaned back and dodged the punch as he grabbed Naruto's wrist and sent him flying at another tree. Naruto flashed through some hand seals and said water style, hidden in the mist jutsu. As a thick mist enveloped the area, Naruto formed a Rasengan and smashed through the tree to avoid injuring himself. As he landed on the other side, he heard, "That's better. But a simple trick like this isn't going to fool the legendary Toad Sannin." As he went through some hand seals and said wind style, great breakthrough. As a large gust of wind blew the mist away. As soon as the mist was gone, he barely had time to sidestep a flying Rasengan. He started to go through some more hand seals as he heard a poof behind him and turned just in time to see another Rasengan coming right at him. He jumped up in the air to avoid it. He realized he had made a mistake when he came face to face with the infamous three-pronged kunai of the Flying Thunder God technique. Before he could react, a red flash appeared in front of him and Naruto punched him towards the ground as he did some hand seals and said lightning style, raging demon's fist. As he slammed the thumb side of his hands together, a large mass of red lightning in the shape of two fists came flying towards Jiraiya. "Oh shit, if that hits me I'm done for," he thought, as he quickly did some hand seals of his own and sunk into the ground. Naruto's attack smashed into the ground where Jiraiya just was, causing a large explosion and sending lightning arching all across the yard. As Naruto landed back on the ground, a pair of hands came up out of the ground and grabbed his ankles. Naruto struggled to get free as he heard footsteps coming up behind him. He turned his head enough to see Jiraiya running in with a Rasengan in hand. Naruto braced for impact and was surprised when nothing happened. He turned around again to look and see Jiraiya's Rasengan just inches from his face. "I win," said Jiraiya with a large grin as his Rasengan faded away and the hands that grabbed Naruto disappeared in a poof of smoke. "You're pretty good, but still not Sannin good yet. Give it a while, no doubt you'll be better than me one day. Yeah, one of these days, if I keep working hard at least," said a smiling Naruto. 1 week ago, "Sir, we have reports that Danzo is on the move again. He has possibly been meeting with Hayashi Hyuga in secret for some time now. What are your orders? Monitor the situation, don't let Danzo catch us with our pants down. If he's meeting with the Hyuga, then he is probably up to something big. Just keep an eye on Danzo for now, and see if you can learn any more." 1 month before current time. "Ah, Hyuga-san, come in, have a seat," said Danzo. "Thank you, Danzo-san." "How are you?" said Hayashi. "I am well," said Danzo as he developed a grin. "So, Hayashi, I have a business proposal for you." "I'm listening." "What would you say to being the head of the village council?" "But how?" "That position has been held by the Uchiha since the village was formed. You leave that up to me. All I ask of you is your clan's support." "Support in what?" "I intend to overthrow the Hokage. If you agree to have your clan back me, then I will award you with a permanent spot as head of my new council." "Are you serious?" "Yes, Hayashi. Konoha has become the laughingstock of the elemental nations during the reign of the 3rd and 4th Hokage. If I was to become the leader, we would be feared by all. We would be the greatest of all the nations, just as it should be. And you, Hayashi, would be my second in command." "You drive a hard bargain, Danzo. Let me think on it for a while." "Of course, take your time," said Danzo as Hayashi got up and walked out the door. Once Hayashi was gone, he smiled to himself. "I'm so close now I can taste it. I've got that tool Hayashi in the palm of my hand. With the Hyuga backing me I will be unstoppable." "Present time, report," said Minato as an ANBU walked into his office. "Sir, we have confirmed from a leak in the Hyuga house that Hayashi has indeed been meeting with Danzo, and has been trying to talk the Hyuga Council in joining an under-the-table alliance." "I see. Do you know what their motives are?" "Not at this time, sir." "Okay. Dismissed." The ANBU shunshed away as Minato said Kakashi, Itachi. Kakashi and Itachi were both instantly standing in front of him. "Yes, Hokage-sama?" said both of them at once. "Do you feel as if your team is ready for a SS rank mission?" "What is the mission, sir?" said Itachi. "To assassinate Danzo." "Sir, I believe we are for the most part, but there is one thing I would ask of you first." "What is it?" Naruto was sitting at the kitchen table drinking some juice, resting from his spar with Jiraiya when suddenly he felt his dad calling him. He quickly finished his juice and teleported to the Hokage's office to find his dad, Kakashi, and Itachi standing there waiting on him. "Naruto, we need your opinion on something," said Minato. "Yes, what is it?" "How do you feel about an implanted Sharingan eye?" said Itachi. "I don't have a problem with it. I consider Kakashi very close to me," said Naruto. "No, Naruto, what he means is, how would you feel about receiving a Sharingan?" said Kakashi. "Huh, you mean like having one transplanted like you, Kakashi?" said Naruto. "Yes, Naruto. We feel that it would greatly expand upon your abilities, and also we have a mission in mind that you may need it on," said Itachi. "Dad, what do you think of this?" said Naruto as he turned to look at his dad. "Son, I agree with Itachi. You would be only the second non-Uchiha to have a Sharingan. It would be an honor for you. However, I will agree with whatever choice you make. If you agree with them, Dad, then I trust you." "I'll do it," said Naruto. "Okay, let's head to the hospital so we can get it in and let it heal properly in time for the mission," said Minato. "Naruto, bring Kakashi please," as he grabbed Itachi's shoulder and disappeared in a yellow flash. Naruto put his hand on Kakashi's shoulder and also disappeared. All four appeared in the hospital at the same time as they went up to the room they had already selected and prepared. Tsunade, Shizen, and Jiraiya all stood there waiting on them. Naruto climbed onto the bed and laid down as Itachi handed Tsunade a jar with a red eyeball floating in it. Naruto, now is the last chance to back out before we begin. Are you sure you want this? Said Tsunade, her motherly instinct toward Naruto kicking in. Yes, I am sure, said Naruto. Tsunade then passed a glowing hand over his face and he faded off to sleep. Flashback, about 1 hour ago. What is it? Asked Minato. I would like to transplant a Sharingan eye into Naruto. What? Said both Minato and Kakashi at the same time. Why would you give your clan's bloodline away like that? Said Minato. Because I see Naruto as a little brother to me as much as Sasuke, and I believe the Sharingan will help him greatly, even if he is already very strong. Plus, with Danzo, I have reason to believe he possesses the lost left Sharingan of my friend Shursui. Wait, Danzo has Shursui's eye? Although he died in a training accident? Said Minato. Well, that was the common belief, but a couple years later I found a note along with a Sharingan eye and some of Shursui's belongings. Said Itachi as he recalled Shursui's note. Itachi, I hope that one day you will find this note. I am sorry that I had to go, but it was in the best interest of the village. I was attacked and lost my left eye to someone. I was unable to identify him, but he stole my eye. You understand how disastrous it could be if he got my other eye as well. I am entrusting you with my other eye and I am leaving the village. Please, Itachi, keep Konoha safe. Consider my eye a tool to help you along. I hope we may one day meet again. Goodbye. Signed, Shursui. He was attacked and lost his left eye by an unknown assailant, before leaving his right eye to me. He then faked his death and left the village in order to maintain the peace. Wow, he was a true patriot, said Kakashi. He made the ultimate sacrifice for the safety of the village. Yes. He is the perfect example of a shinobi, said Itachi. Anyways, I believe the reason that Danzo wears the bandages on his head is to hide Shursui's other Sharingan. So it would be beneficial to Naruto to have a Sharingan of his own. Yes, I suppose you are right. Whose Sharingan do you intend to give him though? Shursui's. Are you sure, Itachi? That is one of the most powerful eyes of your clan. Yes. As I said, Naruto is like a little brother to me. I trust him with the power above everyone else in this world besides Sasuke, and he has his own Sharingan. Besides, soon, I will have his left eye back. Naruto? Naruto-kun? Naruto, can you hear me? Said a detached voice. Huh. Where am I? Said Naruto as he opened his eye. Why can't I see out of my right eye? What happened? Naruto, calm down, and I will explain, said Tsunade. You just had surgery. It is normal to experience temporary amnesia afterwards. You agreed to have a Sharingan eye implanted into your right eye socket. The eye is covered for now to allow it to heal properly. Oh yeah, it's coming back to me now. Did everything go well? Yes, the surgery was a success. You will just need to rest for a few days to allow the eye to heal, so you don't damage any of the connections. Okay, so how do you feel, son? Asked Minato. Like I just ran 1,000 miles on my ass cheeks, said Naruto, eliciting a laugh from everyone in the room. I think I just need some rest as he fell back asleep. Thank you, Tsunade Shizen. I'll take him home to get some rest now, said Minato as he picked Naruto up and disappeared in a flash of yellow. Naruto slowly opened his eye and looked around the room as everything came into focus. Ino was sitting in a chair next to his bed with her head laid on his chest, asleep. Naruto sat up, waking Ino up. Once she seen he was up, she wrapped him up in a hug and said, "Thank God you're okay. I was worried about you, Naruto-kun." What, how long have I been asleep, Ino-chan? 2 days now. Your dad told me what happened. Are you feeling okay, Naruto-kun? Yeah, Ino-chan, I feel fine. Can you go find Tsunade for me, please? Sure, I'll be right back. As she walked out the door and returned a few minutes later with Tsunade. How do you feel, Naruto? Said Tsunade. I feel fine now. How much longer do I need to leave this cover on? How does it feel? Any pain or anything? No, it's fine, I think. Well, if it feels good, then you can go ahead and unwrap it, said Tsunade as Naruto started to unwrap his bandages. Once he got them off, he opened his eye and then screamed and covered it with his hand. Naruto, what's wrong? Naruto-kun. Came the simultaneous screams of Tsunade and Ino as Naruto started to laugh. Gotcha, he said as he rubbed the back of his head and grinned until Ino punched him in the head. Damn it, Naruto, you worried us, she screamed. Kid, you're lucky you are recovering from surgery, or I'd kick your ass for worrying me like that. But remember, you will be better one day and I'll be waiting, said Tsunade with flames in her eyes as Naruto gulped and wondered why he did what he did. What's the matter? I heard a scream, said Minato as he ran through the door. It was nothing, just your son being a dumbass, said Ino as Tsunade smirked. I like this girl, oh thank God. So how do you feel, Naruto? I think I am fine. It doesn't hurt or anything. It's just kind of weird. Everything is so much clearer now. Yes, son, that's the Sharingan for you. But remember, you'll have to keep it covered like Kakashi since you can't cut it off or it will drain your chakra. Actually, Dad, I have an idea that may help me and Kakashi both. How long until our next mission? 1 week from tonight, said Minato. Okay, that gives me time to work on my idea and rest the eye some more. I may need yours and Jiraiya's help along the way though. What do you have in mind? A seal over my eye, to allow me to cover and uncover it with chakra, just like was normal. That's a brilliant idea, son. Maybe we can do it. But before that I need to go for a walk, my legs feel like noodles. Just be sure to keep the eye covered. Actually, I think it may be better to use it. I have plenty of chakra and I need to adjust. Yeah, I guess you're right. You two have fun, said Minato as he walked out of the room along with Tsunade. Naruto got up out of bed and walked towards the door when he suddenly stopped and blushed a dark red as Ino did the same. Nah, Naruto-kun, she stuttered. I know, Ino-chan, he said as he ran back to the bed and threw on his clothes. Oh my god! He's freaking hot, yelled Ino in her mind. Naruto got dressed and noticed that Ino was still looking at him and blushing. Well, Ino-chan, did you like what you saw? He said in his sexy voice as blood trickled down Ino's nose. I take that as a yes then, as he kissed her on the forehead and drug her towards the stairs. As they reached the living room, Tsunade said, what happened to her? Well, no one bothered to tell me they took all my clothes, so she saw me walk across the room in my boxers, said Naruto as he laughed, and Jiraiya pulled out a notebook and started writing vigorously with a lecherous grin. Tell me more, kid, anything happen? Said Jiraiya as a fist connected to Tsunade slammed into his face. He is like my son, you damn pervert. And that means he is like a stepson to you. Actually, he is my godson, whimpered Jiraiya. Well, see ya later, me and Ino-chan are going for a walk, said Naruto as they walked towards the door. Since Ino had regained consciousness, the couple decided to go grab a bite to eat at Ichiraku's, so they were taking their time walking over there and enjoying the day. About halfway there, they ran into Sasuke. Hey Naruto. Damn it, sure is weird seeing you with a Sharingan, said Sasuke as he grinned. Anyways, where are you two headed? Ichiraku's ramen, wanna come? Sure, but I have to go meet Sakura first. Sakura? Wasn't she the president of your fan club not too long ago? Laughed Naruto. Fuck off, said Sasuke as he laughed a bit himself. She was, but she approached me a few days ago and she seemed to have calmed down, so I figured I'd give her a chance. What about your fan club? Well, Hinata talked to me a few days ago, but I turned her down, of course. Damn, she was persistent though, she damn near raped me, said Naruto as he and Sasuke laughed, and Ino glared at him with fire in her eyes. Oh. I'm going to get Sakura, I'll meet you there in 15 minutes, yelled Sasuke as he was already a block away. So she almost raped you, and I didn't hear of this? Said Ino as she made Naruto feel 3 inches tall. Let me explain, Ino-chan. Oh, you bet you're going to explain, and it better be damn good too. Naruto cringed a little as he said, the night we got home from Wave, when I dropped you off at home and started walking home myself, I heard someone following me. I turned around to confront the person, and it turned out to be Hinata. She asked me out and I told her no, and so she tried to hug me and I told her no again. Oh hell no. Her ass is mine, thought Ino. I promise nothing happened though, Ino-chan. It was just guy talk. Good, said Ino in a sweet voice as her glare turned to a smile. I am going to kick her ass though. Don't worry about it, Ino-chan. Oh, I'm worried about it, Naruto-kun. I can't have her stealing my man. You don't ever have to worry about that, Ino-chan. I love you, and I always will, said Naruto as he kissed Ino on top of the head. I love you too, Naruto-kun. Let's go meet Sasuke and Sakura. The couple once again started walking to Ichiraku's. A few minutes after they arrived, Sasuke and Sakura arrived, and the four went inside to find a seat. 5 days after Naruto woke up, Naruto sat at his desk in his father's study, looking over some scrolls as he scribbled some things in another scroll. He had spent a lot of time here since his surgery trying to develop a seal to turn the Sharingan on and off. He was making progress, with the help of Jiraiya and his dad, but hadn't figured it out completely yet. He continued going through the scrolls and writing notes for another 2 hours or so before his eyes went wide and he said, I think I've got it. Uncle Jiraiya. A couple of minutes later Jiraiya walked through the door. What is Naruto? I think I figured it out, Uncle Jiraiya, said Naruto as Jiraiya walked over and looked at his notes. Well, Naruto, it looks like it should work. Let's go talk to your dad and see what he says about it. With that, Naruto stuck his scroll in his pocket and grabbed Jiraiya's arm and disappeared in a red flash. They reappeared in the Hokage's office to find Minato looking over some reports. Hey dad, said Naruto as Minato looked up from the desk. Hey son, what's going on? Looks like he may have figured out the seal, said Jiraiya as Naruto handed Minato his notes. Minato looked at it a minute before saying him. It looks like it should work. How did you figure it out, Naruto? Well, basically it is a combination of a small chakra suppression seal, along with a trigger seal that is commonly used on explosive tags. In theory, when chakra is channeled to the outer trigger seal, it should deactivate, allowing chakra to turn the eye on, and when you channel chakra back into the trigger it activates, blocking the chakra to the eye, thus cutting it off, said Naruto. Sounds good. Are you ready to test it? Said Minato. Yes, I am. Very well then, lay down on the floor and we will get on it, said Minato as he stood up and walked around to Naruto. Jiraiya pulled out a scroll and unsealed a bottle of ink and a brush from it as he said, "Okay Naruto, last chance to change your mind if you are unsure of it." "No, I'm sure," he said as he pulled his headband off. "Okay, cut your hand and pour some blood into this ink," said Jiraiya as Naruto cut his palm and let the blood drip into the bottle of ink. "Okay then, be very still while I work, you know how sensitive sealing can be," said Jiraiya as he started to copy Naruto's design onto his face. It took Jiraiya about half an hour to copy the seal down. As he finished he leaned up and said, "Well, I'm done with the writing. Here is the moment of truth." Naruto reached his hand up and channeled his chakra to the seal as it glowed bright red for a moment, and then receded back into his skin. As soon as the ink disappeared, Naruto grabbed his head and rolled over screaming. "Naruto! What is it?" yelled both Minato and Jiraiya as Naruto's screams turned to laughter. "Damn it Naruto, you scared us again!" yelled Minato as he punched Naruto in the head. "You gotta admit it was funny though, Dad." "Hell no, you scared us to death," said Minato as he thought it was pretty funny since I'm not worried now. "He acts like me way too much." Naruto just grinned as he rubbed the back of his head. Minato looked at his eye for a minute and said, "Can you see out of it?" "Yeah, I see fine." "Well then, turn the Sharingan on." Naruto focused chakra to the trigger seal as the eye turned red and 3 tomos appeared. "Okay, what about the Mangekyo?" asked Jiraiya. Naruto focused more chakra to the eye and the tomo started rapidly spinning as the tomo fused to form a 4-edged black saw blade in his eye. "Okay, cut it off," said Minato as Naruto channeled chakra back to the trigger, and the saw blade disappeared and the eye turned from red to black. "Very well, it looks to work just fine," said Jiraiya. "We should tell Kakashi, to see if he is interested in it," said Naruto. "I'll go find him," said Jiraiya as he walked out the door. "Well, I'm glad it works. I just wish I could turn it back blue as well. I look funny with one black and one blue eye," said Naruto as he chuckled. "You look fine, Naruto. It definitely gives you character," said Minato as he grinned. A few minutes later Jiraiya and Kakashi walked through the door and Kakashi said, "Hello sensei, you requested my presence?" "Yes Kakashi, we have some news that may interest you." "Naruto, care to explain?" "Well Kakashi sensei, I have developed a seal to turn the Sharingan on and off," said Naruto as Kakashi noticed his eye for the first time. "So it was a success. And everything still works?" "Yep. On off, and the Mangekyo," said Naruto as he turned the Sharingan on and then switched to his Mangekyo before cutting it back off. "Well, that's helpful. It would allow you to see from both eyes, removing the blind spot on the Sharingan side." "Good job Naruto." "Well sensei, you want to try it out?" "Sure, if you don't mind," said Kakashi. "Alright then, just drop some blood in this vial and then lay down on the floor," said Jiraiya as he unsealed another bottle of ink. Kakashi cut his hand and let the blood drip into the vial before laying down and removing his headband. Jiraiya carefully applied the seal, then stood up and said, "Okay, I'm done, go ahead and activate the seal." Kakashi put his palm up to his eye and channeled chakra to the seal. It glowed for a moment before disappearing as he sat up and looked around room. "Looks like a success," said Jiraiya as he looked at Kakashi's plain black eye. "Just channel some chakra to the trigger seal to let it activate." Kakashi turned the Sharingan back on and switched it to his Mangekyo, which looked like a 3 sides extending from his pupil. He then turned it off as it went back to plain black. "So what do you think?" said Minato as he looked at Kakashi. "Well, it's different. I haven't been able to look through my right eye normally in 14 years. 2 days later, your mission is a very dangerous one. S rank. If you are captured, I will deny all involvement, and you will be trialed as traitors of the village. Do you understand and accept these risks?" "Yes, Hokage-sama," said all 4 men simultaneously. "Okay. Tonight at 7 p.m., we will be having a council meeting. Once the meeting is over, you will follow this man home and assassinate him," said Minato as he laid a photo of Danzo down on the desk. "Yes, Hokage-sama," said all 4 men. "Naruto, Sasuke, you will need these," said Minato as he handed Naruto and Sasuke each a plain white mask with the leaf symbol on the forehead, as well as a metal chest protector. "As I said, if you are discovered you will not be supported. Follow him home, kill him, plant the evidence, and leave. Never speak a word of this to anyone not in this room, or you will be executed. Do you understand?" "Yes, Hokage-sama." "Dismissed," said Minato as all 4 men disappeared. A few hours later, 4 men dressed in all black, with plain white masks, and a metal chest protector, convened on the roof of a building with the council chamber in sight. One of the men said in a low voice, "From this point on, we do not know each other, we do not have names, we are not Leaf Ninja. I will be Inu, Itachi is Crow, Naruto is Fox, and Sasuke is Hawk. As the leader said, we are on our own. Do not get captured, do not be seen. You are to spread out and follow the target home. Once he arrives, we will convene on the house. Get in, kill him, get out, all without a sound. The first person to enter the house, use a privacy jutsu to be sure there are no sounds. Now fan out." As all 4 of them leapt away to hide and wait. After a short while Naruto noticed the target leave the chamber. As soon as he seen the man's face everything went black. When the darkness faded, Naruto found himself standing in a pool of water in what looked like a sewer. He looked around and said, "Where am I?" As he noticed a large gate that resembled a prison door with a paper tag that had the word seal on it. Suddenly a large set of red eyes were gazing down upon him. "Hello, brat. I am Kurama." "Kurama?" said Naruto. "Yes, you may know me as the Kyuubi." "The Kyuubi? What the fuck do you want?" "Calm yourself, kid, I mean you no harm. I couldn't hurt you in here even if I wanted to. How did I get here? I was on a mission." "Calm down. Time in here move quicker than in the real world. Every month that passes in here is only 1 second outside. Why have you brought me here?" "That man you are targeting, I have seen him before. He was with the bastard who forced me into attacking your puny village." "You can see things outside of the seal?" "Yes. I see everything that you see." "Wait, you said you have met this man?" "Yes. Right after Madara Uchiha released me from your mother's seal, we teleported somewhere. Madara controlled me with the accursed Sharingan to keep me dormant. As I sat there powerless, he met with that man discussing the attack." "You mean Danzo was involved in the attack?" "It would appear that way. That is of no concern to me though. It is my goal in life to kill Madara and everyone he associated with. That Uchiha bastard controlled me against my will with his Sharingan not once but twice. This Danzo was with him that night, and therefore must die. If you succeed in killing him, I will allow you the use of my power." "What do you mean by that?" "I hate Madara and by association, this Danzo guy. I want him to suffer. If you can kill him, I will grant you access to my chakra." "What good would that do me?" "Fool! I am the most powerful of the tailed beasts. My power is feared by everyone. With the use of my power you would be unstoppable." "I see. He will die regardless, but I will consider your offer. Now how do I get out of here?" "Just walk away from here. I will contact you again soon," said Kurama as Naruto turned and left. Naruto woke up to see that Danzo was still in the same place he was before as he continued his walk. He walked towards the southeastern side of the village, before finally arriving at a large house that had a tall fence all the way around it. He walked up and unlocked the gate before heading inside and shutting the door behind him. Naruto sat there waiting to give Danzo time to get settled in when he saw a black blur leap from a roof and into Danzo's yard. The figure walked around to the back of the house, where he jimmied open a window and climbed in. Naruto heard a click in his ear, signifying that the privacy jutsu was in place. Naruto leapt down and into the yard before running around back and into the window the first man opened. As soon as he was in good, another one of them climbed in behind him, as well as the fourth member of their squad. They all fanned out and started searching the house for Danzo. Soon Naruto heard 2 clicks in his ear as he turned to move towards the northwestern corner of the house. As he silently made his way to that side of the house, he ran into one of his group. He let the other go first, identifying him as Itachi. The two made their way along silently until they saw Kakashi standing beside a closed door. He started speaking to them in sign language. "The target is in here. I hear no movements. Crow, attack on my order. Fox, you are backup." As Naruto got in position on the opposite side of the door from Kakashi. Suddenly the door opened and Itachi bolted inside as a voice said, "What the foo?" And then there was a thud on the floor. Suddenly they heard Itachi yell, "We've been compromised, that was a clone, find him. Don't let him out of this house alive," yelled Kakashi. Naruto quickly activated his Sharingan and started looking for Danzo's chakra signature. He sensed it running down the hallway on the other side of the house as he bolted that way, followed by Itachi. While he was running, he suddenly heard an explosion from where he sensed Danzo, and as he looked again, he saw that Sasuke was engaging Danzo. Naruto picked up his pace and ran into the room just as Sasuke said, "Fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu," and threw out 6 shuriken which he covered with fire. Naruto jumped right into fray as he ran through some hand seals and said, "Wind style, great breakthrough." He breathed out a gust of wind, which sped up the shuriken and intensified the flames. As the kunai flew at him, Danzo ran through some hand seals and said, "Wind style, great breakthrough." As a large wall of wind blew out and stopped the shuriken in their tracks and rattled the house, throwing Sasuke against the wall and blowing Naruto and Itachi out of the room. Itachi quickly regained his feet and ran back into the room doing hand seals as he went. As soon as he stepped into the room, he yelled out, "Fire style, Grand Fireball Jutsu," as a ball of fire completely enveloped the other side of the room. As the fire died down, everyone noticed a figure still standing amidst the smoldering flames. He had unwrapped the bandages on his head, revealing a Sharingan in his right eye socket. "I knew that bastard had it," thought Itachi. Danzo did a couple of hand seals before pointing his hands at the still down Sasuke and said, "Wind style, Vacuum Spear," as several rods of wind shot from his hands. Itachi quickly did his own hand seals and said, "Fire style, Fire Dragon Jutsu," as a large dragon made of flames shot out of his mouth and intercepted the wind, growing bigger and turning white hot as it continued towards Danzo. Danzo quickly rolled out of the way as the dragon crashed into the wall and dissipated. Suddenly Naruto heard a voice in his ear say, "Get him against the back wall, and I'll finish it." Naruto quickly charged in at Danzo and threw a kick at his head. Danzo dodged under the kick before launching a punch at Naruto's ribs. Naruto jumped aside to avoid the punch as he tried to backhand Danzo, only to have him duck under before he delivered a bone-shattering punch to Naruto's face, cracking his mask and sending him flying into the wall. Danzo started to charge forward again, but before he could move, he was intercepted by Itachi, who launched a punch into Danzo's face, knocking him back a few feet. Itachi started throwing punch after kick at Danzo, who dodged or blocked all of them. While those two were going at it, Sasuke came too. He stood up, and as soon as he regained his bearings, he charged in to attack Danzo with Itachi. The two Uchihas together starting pushing Danzo back towards the wall where he needed to be. Finally, Danzo found an opening and kicked Itachi in the side, knocking him away. Naruto quickly jumped back into his place and started his own assault on Danzo. Even though they weren't doing any damage to him, they almost had him backed into the wall. Suddenly there was an explosion right behind Danzo, and before he could react there was a lightning-covered hand stuck through his chest. Well, Kakashi, how nice to see you," hissed Danzo. "Fuck off. You should have known this was coming, you traitor," said Itachi. "I only do what is in the best interest of this village. You are the traitors. They will continue in my place. You can never truly stop me," yelled Danzo. "Why were you meeting the Hyugas?" said Kakashi. "Fuck you," spat Danzo. "Fine. We will do this the hard way," said Itachi as his Mangekyo activated and he looked into Danzo's eyes. Danzo suddenly found himself tied to a tree, looking at Itachi in his rude outfit. "So Itachi too then? Did your precious Hokage decide to send the best ninja in your village after me?" "Yes, he did," said a new voice as Itachi turned to see Naruto standing there. "Fox? How are you in here?" "Tsukiyomi," answered Naruto. "I see. Shall we then?" said Itachi as he turned back to Danzo as a kunai appeared in each of their hands. "Yes, let's break this little bitch," said Naruto as he jabbed the kunai into Danzo's knee and twisted it. At the same time, Itachi stabbed his kunai into Danzo's other knee. "Tell us what business you had with the Hyuga clan," said Itachi. "Fuck off. I'll die before I speak," yelled Danzo as he spat in Itachi's face. "You just fucked up, Danzo," said Itachi as he pulled the kunai from Danzo's knee and stabbed it into his balls. Danzo screamed out in pain as Itachi said, "You know this will continue for as long as you remain alive. You might as well end it quickly and tell me what I want to know." "I think I will do just that," yelled Danzo as Naruto and Itachi found themselves back in the real world looking at Danzo, who had blood coming from his eyes, ears, and mouth. Itachi quickly checked his pulse and said, "He's dead. Bastard killed himself." Kakashi pulled his arm out and let Danzo's body fall to the ground, where Itachi proceeded to remove his right eye and put it into a jar of liquids before sealing it away. "Alright, burn the body, and be sure to plant the evidence," said Kakashi. Itachi quickly used a fire-style jutsu to burn most of Danzo's body, only leaving the shoulder opposite the Chidori and his head. Naruto and Sasuke proceeded to plant evidence around the room to frame Root, before they all left the house as if they had never been there.